And welcome back to Scout Talk, everyone. Today's episode, we're going to be discussing Tarkov got a surprising attachment patch, a little bit of a rebalance. Let's go over that. GigaBeef. Then we got the marathon release. We're going to do some discussion about how that's feeling, things of that nature, what's working, what's not, etc. AI utopias real. We got to talk about some AI stuff as usual. I think it's GPU prices increase, CPU core setter, and then finally a little bit out of order. Super excited for this upcoming game. Let's share with you all.
Very good. Lots of interesting stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
The world's a crazy place right now. But to start with something easy and simple, we will look at the changes for EFT. I'm actually going to jump through the Arena stuff first. So there's two patches, one for Tarkov itself and one for Arena. We'll just do Arena because the Tarkov one's just going to open up a huge can of worms that we'll get into in a sec. So Arena's like super simple. They've added a match history so you can see detailed statistics of the matches you've done. You can open up other people's profile and see how good they are, that kind of thing. So matches played in the last 6 months are saved into history. You've got 12 most recent matches loaded at a time, so you can scroll around and you can see people's KDs, like match MVPs, things like that, which is quite cool. Some other bits and pieces in there. As I said, I'm not really playing. I'm on a bit of Arena hiatus because it's sort of the pressure valve if I've got spare time. Like right now, I just don't have any spare time to do anything, which will so various things being tugged in a million different directions. But it's quite cool for those who are playing, Arena a decent amount. And yeah, I guess the thing is about Arena 2 is that because we're on like this permanent account, it's just like, well, there's not really any time limit for getting the stuff. I don't need any more thick cases really. So I'm just like, well, yeah, there's the Battle Pass cosmetics. Like, I don't really mind. I'll probably play it a lot again when there's a new Battle Pass to grind, but like slowly grinding up 2 BPs a day and a 6 for a weekly to then spend 40 on a ref crate to roll it and get some GP coins rather than a 4% chance to get the stupid cat skin. I'm just like, it's not worth it, right? The time's just like not worth it. So I was actually funneling money. I probably still should do this. I was funneling money over from the base game into Arena, so I didn't have to actually like play. I could just like use the money from EFT because I got like 30 mil over in the base game now. So I was just like, I could just like shove 2.5 mil over every time. But that only you can only move over like 750 a day, and then it's 2.5 mil to buy the full like battle pass point kind of allocation, and that only gets you 8 or something. I can't remember. So you have to buy to get 40 for one of these ref crates. It's a lot. So I've sort of given up. But anyway. They've done a few like balance changes as well. I don't think any of it matters too much from what I've read. Like everybody can wear the CQCM now for all the classes, but they're only class 3. And then they did do this one thing. I haven't fully gone and checked out exactly what this means, but they've changed the 2 great heights task lines. This is the one that you used to do to get the theta container. They've changed the whole task line. So it seems like the main driver for this, I know they've changed some of the actual tasks, but the main driver for this is you can now accept and complete tasks from this task line in both EFT Arena and EFT, which is really, really good. Because before you had to go in there into Tarkov, accept the Great Heights task, leave Tarkov, go to Arena, complete the task, leave Arena, go to Tarkov, except like it was so bad. So they've finally fixed that. And also the Great Heights Part 4, you can now do the ruble transfer in both EFT Arena and in EFT. So you can use, because previously, so this is the quest where you have to win 3 games without losing 4. And it's one of the notorious ones because it costs 1 million rubles.
Win 3 games without losing 4?
Yeah. So it's like you have to get like a 50% win rate, basically. So if you lose 3 games and win 3 games, you have to win 3 games before you lose 4 of them, if that makes sense. So it's like you have
to achieve a 50% over a 50% win rate?
Basically. Over like 6 games, I guess. So you could just win 3 in a row, but if you lose 4, it fails and it restarts. So I guess the easy way to put it is win 3 matches. If you lose 4, the quest fails. That's like the easiest way to describe it.
Okay.
And if it fails, you have to pay the 1 million rubles again. So it's like a wager.
Okay, I think I get it. There's 6 matches in total you need to play, but.
Well, not necessarily, because you could just win 3 straight up.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the most matches that you can play and still complete the quest is 6. That'll be 3 losses and 3 wins. That still counts. But if you get that 4th loss, the quest fails, and you have to restart it from 0. And it costs 1 million rubles every time. So it's kind of, for people who aren't as good at Arena, it's kind of a notorious quest just because it can be really annoying. If you're on like a 50-50, you can quite easily lose 4 and then have to redo it and redo it and redo it. And it ends up costing quite a lot of money. It does pay you like 2.5 mil when you finish. So because it's like a gambling thing. I think it's the idea. It's like supposed to be like betting on yourself kind of thing.
I get it.
Win the money. But you used to have to pay that out of your Tarkov money in EFT itself, because you could only accept the quest in EFT. So you're just like, and especially early wipe, you're just like, damn, do I want to spend 1 mil in like base EFT? Like, you might have like 8 mil over in arena, but because you can't like push money that quickly between the two games, for some people it was problematic. Anyway, so they've changed that. But then I want to actually go and see 2 great heights. Let me go and have a look. Let me go and see. I actually didn't check this. I should have checked this previously. I wonder if they've even changed it on the wiki. They might not have, actually. I think they've added some other quests before it, is what I heard. Yes, you do. So balancing part 1 is the 5 scavs using the org. And then there's arena business and professional fitness part 1 that you have to do now. Arena business is complete professional fitness part 2, complete great heights 6, and complete the task hold the lead. Whatever that is. So hold the lead is still 75 enemies in arena. That comes after great heights 6. Professional fitness is play a match, eliminate 20 enemies, and then great heights part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seem unchanged. And then you have hold the lead, and then you get to do the normal things. They've just added a few more quests. Some of them are kind of easier, so it's not too bad. It's just like play a game or whatever. So it's not the end of the world. But they've adjusted that a little bit. And basically it says like if you hadn't completed the Great Heights prior to the update, everything got reset. So if you were on
the
like
entire
Great Heights 5 or
line?
something. Yeah, the whole thing.
Oh
just
my
got
god. I mean, I can't. I mean, whatever. I don't really care, but it's
like... Yeah,
I was
and then
doing
some random fixes.
I think I was doing that quest line. I think I was on part 3 or something, and I just like
Not anymore.
Yeah, well, trust me, I can't.
Not that you're gonna get back there.
I don't have the patience for arena. I just actually can't stand it.
Yeah. Cool. So that's basically that. I guess we're probably going to get another season of the Battle Pass soon-ish. I don't know exactly when. They said Q2, so we'll probably get another month. We'll probably have the whole of March, I imagine, at least, to finish this one. If people haven't finished it or they want to get this annoying cosmetic or whatever, that's fine. And then it'll probably come like April, May, or something like that. I imagine.
Does arena wipe?
We'll see. Arena does wipe.
Okay.
When the game wipes, I imagine it'll wipe with the I don't know what they're going to do with the seasons. This is the thing now. It's a bit confusing. I don't know what happens with the seasonal count, because now our base character doesn't wipe anymore. So arena probably does wipe with the seasons, but like you're gonna have to be able to pass rubles between like 3 different accounts now. PvE,
they're gonna figure it all
PvP
out.
Seasonal,
it's gonna be completely flawless, no issues.
It's gonna be totally fine as always. So, oh my god, yeah. So like, well, arena, like, so what normally wipes in arena? I can't speak to the future, but what's wiped in the past is levels. But all of the unlocks that you had, so all the guns you unlocked and all that stuff, those stayed unlocked. So like anything in your arena inventory, so if you had Lega medals lying around, or any cash, or any crates, that all got wiped. And obviously your level got wiped back to 1.
Yeah.
And any skills from arena, although in arena you play with level 30 skills anyway. But basically anything that can interact with the base game got wiped. Everything else stays. So all of your arena unlocks. So you're quite incentivized to like spend Lega medals on unlocking like the end game guns. Like some of them require Lega medals to unlock, like the SR3M or whatever. I think it's the SR3M. Anyway, there's like a few of them. So it's all going to get wiped anyway, but regardless of whether you've got them in arena or on the base game. So you may as well have just spent more. Now, you could transfer them to the permanent account this time in advance for arena wiping, because the permanent account then won't wipe. And I imagine arena will wipe. It's all quite confusing. We spoke last time, actually, or maybe it was the time before, about my PV account, how I was like flummoxed that it was like level 30. And loads of people were just like, oh yeah, it was obviously arena, because of the way that, you know, I say, like, it's very unintuitive, even for somebody who's like looking at this all the time, because of the account sync and like the difference, like the XP itself flows from like arena to PvE and PvP, but it's the XP itself. It's none of the absolute numbers. So if you like wipe PvE and then you're playing arena, that will then go into your PvE account from that point. It's all very strange. It's all very strange. But I mean, it does kind of work at this point. But yeah, seasonal's going to add another layer on it. So I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Okay, so on to the main update. Patch 1.0.2.5. Last time we talked about a roadmap, or maybe the time before, that they put out, which I actually didn't have to hand last time when I was talking about this, and I probably should have had to hand. But it seems like we got half of what they said they were going to do in the next one, because I think the next patch was supposed to be 1.0.3. That was like the main patch. And in that, they said we were going to get DLSS 4.5, but they've added that to this patch. So maybe it was already done. I don't know. But that means that now you can choose J, K, L, or M in-game, and you can swap around with them and try the new DLSS models out in-game without having to mess about with the video app, which is quite nice. So that's definitely a nice improvement. And they have continued to like push through stuff for match speed. I mean, the match speed thing seems actually really good. I played recently, and I've been playing a bit of Marathon, and I've been on off as well, just been so busy.
Yeah.
But I did play and go through some more Kappa tasks the other day. I think I've got like one mission. I think I literally got one mission to do. I thought it was going to be much harder than it actually was. I had like the lighthouse tasks to do, and it was really not very hard at all. And but I spawned in, and I spawned at Southern Road, right? And my stuff is like all at the road camp, and I was like, oh man, what a drag. And I was like, wait, I'm gonna get back in like 2 minutes.
So you just
So I just quit. I just reloaded, and it was just like whoop, straight back in again, because like the matching time is like so short.
Yeah, okay.
In comparison. Now I have had, and some people have said to me about this, that there have been people getting late spawns more than normal when there's like matching issue. Like, now it shows you the full loading bar, and there's a kind of exclamation mark, and it says match times low, delayed, or servers are under strain, or whatever it might be.
Yep.
When I've had that, I had that one time on Interchange. This is on a small sample, so I've not played that many raids. But when I played Interchange, I had that issue, and I spawned in 3 minutes late into Interchange. So I was like, okay, like it does happen. It happens rarely, but it happens more than it did before. I think that if that's the side effect, that most of the time it doesn't happen, and occasionally it does, I think most people would take, cutting like 3 minutes off the matching time for that, to be honest.
Yeah.
If it doesn't happen every single time, rather than getting in like 6 minutes, 5, because some of the maps really take forever, right, to get into. So Lighthouse can be like that sometimes, like 5 or 6 minutes, whereas now it's like under 2 minutes, and like bam, you're in the raid. Like it's
really good.
It's really a big difference. Ironically, it means that there's like no time to use the stash at all in the that nice quality of life they put in. It's like, oh, use the stash when in the queue. Oh, we got rid of the queue. So
well, you can't really do much. It's just sorting stuff basically. And I guess fleeing.
Yeah, you can put stuff on the flea. Yeah. And you can only do it for the very first segment, and that segment is now really short, so you end up just sitting looking at the timer. I mean, it's a nice problem to have because the time is so much shorter. So that's good. And they've optimized some of the menu loading as well, which I think I can feel it. It still lags sometimes in the ways that it used to, but I think I can feel it. Certain stuff, you can tell certain things have been or at least changed. When you played a game, I think we've talked about this previously, like months ago, but when you played a game so much, and like the tiniest thing changes, like, the icon shade is like slightly different, and you're like, something's different, it's like you can tell, because you got like a proper sort of sonar bat thermal scope radar on the game. Something has changed with the flea. When you buy something, it like the screen, the purchase screen stays very slightly longer than it used to, and then it purchases. I don't know what that's about. There's like some little change there. I was like, ooh, interesting. You can still get the kind of like there's you didn't buy the thing, but something's changed there a little bit. So they are trying to make some optimizations, and it is good. I mean, the loading thing is just like night and day crazy.
Yeah, I bet.
But the main thing about all of this is a balancing path. I think balancing is a very strong word.
What makes you say that,
balance. Let's say item stat change. That's much more neutral. So what they said was adjusted the stats of most weapon attachments, muzzle devices, magazines, grips, and stocks. Our goal was to bridge the gap between the most popular high-tier attachments and those that are currently rarely used. Okay. So there's multiple things about this, as we will go through. So the first primary point of this I guess. It said, well, I mean, it does say here. So muzzle, I will just read what they said.
Yeah.
Flash hiders, muzzle devices, and similar attachments now reduce recoil more effectively. Suppressors, including their combos, have a smaller impact on recoil. In exchange, their ergonomics penalty has been reduced. These changes are addressed at the current prevalence of suppressors, which are used almost universally. We want players to make the choice when building weapons, better recoil control with the muzzle brake versus relative stealth with the suppressor. Sounds very sensible.
Great on paper.
We've talked about this for a long time, so
Yeah.
you think, well, this is fine, right? This is okay. Now, I mean, I think overall it's not necessarily too bad what they've done with this. It's genuinely not too bad. Let me just look at the M4. So now, the lowest recoil combination in the game is the Furfran's Blast Mitigator muzzle attachment.
Yeah, but no one's using that, right?
Which is quite interesting. Well,
I mean, is that even lower than the Q? What I can't even think what it's called.
Do you mean
loud
the Jailbreak?
M4? Yeah.
So the loud M4. So the Jailbreak has been absolutely slapped. I don't really know quite why.
Even prior to that, if I look, it was already nerfed, right?
It was not that great, yeah. So previously, it was still the best one though, I think. So previously, in the last patch, or the last time that this got really seriously adjusted, you had the Griffin M4 SD, the Silencer Co ASR, the AAC SDN, and the Thor AWC Thor PSR thing. They all had, and their combinations, they had minus 16 recoil. The Bulletech combined with the Jailbreak also had minus 16 recoil at that time, because I think the Bulletech had minus 10 and the Jailbreak had minus 6. For some reason, I don't really know why they've done this. For some reason, they've changed the Jailbreak to be minus 0.5 recoil. So the Jailbreak is now
nothing.
Useless. Jailbreak is a useless attachment now. So the Jailbreak has gone from from like minus 16 to minus 11.5 because the Bulletech has been buffed very slightly.
Is it possible that they forgot to?
Sorry, it's the Landtag. So the Landtag, because the Landtag is now slightly better.
The Burris. Is it possible they forgot to nerf the Burris muzzle device attachment, like the flash enhancer? I don't even know what it's called.
What you mean for the
QC, whatever,
for the whatever it's called, the CRD?
Yeah.
I mean, that could be the case. So the muzzle brake is kind of in line with everything else, and the concussion reduction device. Let me see what that was before.
It seems odd that you would drop the Jailbreak like that and not follow suit on a similar style.
Yeah, I know. So the Furfran's brake. I think the Furfran's brake before, looking at my spreadsheet, I think that was previously minus 6 and minus 6 recoil with minus 1 ergo. And I think the surround section was minus 6 and minus 3 as well. So this thing used to be minus 12.
Yeah.
They've adjusted it so the Furfran's itself is now minus 9, so it's 3 better. But the CRD is now minus 3.5, so it's 2.5 worse. So they have adjusted it. So it's not like they've done nothing with it. So now rather than being minus 12, that thing's now minus 12.5, which is, as I said, the lowest recoil combination. Now it has minus 10.5 ergo on it. So it's not amazing because it's not suppressed. And also not very good for ergo. So you kind of get like the worst of both worlds. Like you don't get the ergo from it. You don't get the suppression effect. You do get the muzzle flash. So yeah, it's the best for recoil, but like it kind of is a bit ass. Then you've got the AM, the Allen Engineering suppressor, which only came in 1.0. So I wouldn't be surprised if you hadn't seen it. This is a special suppressor, only fits for the M4. It fits on the Centurion Arms barrel only with the collar. There's like a special collar. You have to use a special muzzle brake, a special collar, and then you attach this thing. So it only works on the M4. That's minus 12. So that's basically the same as a CRD, but it only fits the M4. So then the next best one, in inverted commas, is now the war comp with the RC2, because they've swapped the war comp and the SF3P around. The war comp is now -5, and the SF3P is now -4 for some reason. So that's -10.5 overall, with -16.5 ergo, which is fine. Like, that's fine. But the issue is that a lot of the others that have like way better ergo are not that much worse, right? So that's kind of like the best in slot, like general suppressor for 5.56 now is the RC2 with the war comp. But you've got,
Is it?
I remember that's
For
yeah,
recoil.
for recoil, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you've got, so the other ones that are good. I mean, I went through this in a video. The other ones that are good are the Ultra 5, the Thunder Beast one, and the Mini Monster. They both give like -9 and -9.5, and the weight on them is so low it makes the ergo like way higher in reality.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's not too bad. I mean, so it sort of makes sense. I think the issue is that for most 5.56 guns, you couldn't just mod your way out of the negative ergo. Like the difference between, I don't know, if you're even choosing something quite good like the Lantac, -11 recoil and -5 ergo, versus the RC2 with -10.5 recoil, you're never going to notice 0.5 and -16.5 ergo. It's like 11. The ergo is like 11 worse to go for the suppressor, and the recoil is basically the same. So I don't know. So you're still just going to choose the suppressor. Like there's like 10 ergo is not a problem.
Yeah, that was the thing I was noticing. Is it seemed like they forgot to buff the muzzle devices. You know what I mean? Like they weren't actually doing anything crazy.
Yeah. Now there's some weird knock-on effects here from the other stuff that they've done. So, for example, the pistol grips are now a lot less ergonomic than they were.
Yeah.
And the same thing with vertical.
But they reduced recoil now, which is weird.
A little bit, yeah. So that does have an impact, though, in that maybe 10 ergo used to not be a problem, but 10 ergo is now more of an issue than it was previously, because you can't just make it up as easily. You know, like previously the Growl gave you loads. I can't remember what it used to be, but it was like a lot.
It was like 15.
And something like the Cobra was also a ton, right? Whereas now the most ergonomic pistol grip you can get gives you 5.6, and the most ergonomic vertical foregrip gives you, let me see it on its own. It now gives you 6, or 5.8. So like it's a lot less.
But the caveat there is they also made drum mags way less penalizing, like 50% reduction.
Correct. So a drum mag now for 5.56, and like, I'm sorry if we're going through, like we're kind of like flitting through different things. So like the Stanag 60 is now -9 ergo.
It's crazy, by
whereas
the way.
Before it would have been like -17 or something like that.
Yeah.
So basically what's happened, if we follow the flow through, suppressors and compensators at the top end are still kind of the same. The overall amount of recoil that you can get in general has been nerfed quite significantly. So to compare it before, the best in slot suppressor used to be either -18 or -16 for the sensible ones. That's now -12 or -10. So there's a lot less recoil available just in general on the end game stuff. The ergonomics is a bit better on them, a little bit, but that's not really, I don't know, not really that much. So I used to use the Griffin with -20. The War Comp RC2 combo is like -16 or something, and Thunder Beast like -11. So it is better. But then to offset that, you've got the pistol grips and the vertical foregrips that have a lot lower ergo on them, which means that for those who aren't using like big magazines, those like budget and mid-tier builds are now like quite a bit worse, because you got a little bit on the suppressor, but you lost loads on the pistol grip and on the vertical foregrip, and there's nothing to make up for it. So those builds kind of suck. Whereas the builds where you were using a drum mag before, they've now got a huge relative boost from the drum mag. It's like, oh, if your attachments worked before, they probably will still work now with the drum mag, because you were already compensating for them with the, you know, other stuff on the build. So it's kind of weird. It's like the end game build sort of ended up still being good, but the mid game builds got crushed because the offset for a lot of these builds is on the drum mag bit. So if you weren't using a drum mag, your build is now just like less ergonomic and less recoilant, if that's even a word. So it's really weird the way it's like flowed through the different things.
Yeah, it feels like they went backwards on some of their. Because remember when drum mags weren't that taxing, and then like Cleaner someone was like, "You need to make drum mags terrible," and so they went and like gave all the drum mags huge penalties, except for the foul drum mag for some reason. And then everyone started using the foul,
Yeah.
and then with the suppressors they did a similar thing where it's like, okay, we're just gonna give them a bunch of like ergo penalties. It feels like
Yeah.
they've kind of gone backwards, and but now, but I will say, oh, go ahead. What were we gonna say?
All I was going to say is that it does seem to be that way, and they've kind of gone like BSU usually do. They've kind of gone like to 11 on everything, and it's like they could have just like left the drums as they were, or buff things around them. Like the thing they changed that I think was good was the and we are kind of skipping around. I appreciate, but these things are sort of they're all like intermeshed, right? Like you can't change one thing without talking about the others. They changed the restacking of them. So now loading those mags is now a 10% debuff. It used to be like, I don't know, 40, 50%.
Wait, even the drum mags? Like for the
M4?
M4?
Oh yeah, the drum mags got like a huge change. So the drum mags are now like almost the same as loading a regular mag.
That's
pretty much
what?
Like it's like 10% or something. But I don't mind that actually, because I don't think that ever really like that was just annoying. I don't think that really affected
like
much.
It kind of balanced.
The click, click, click. Like it's just you just sit there for 2.5 minutes doing nothing. Like maybe it did balance it. I don't know.
That's like the cost you pay.
Maybe.
Like if you want to like not reload and wipe a 3-man, then you have to sit there and.
Well, you best.
Yeah.
You best not be packing any ammo.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that was. I mean, okay. Well, to be fair, the P90,
maybe.
the P90, I think was a bit much because that was like 75.
So the P90 has gone from 75 to 15%.
Yeah, that seems a lot more.
But you had no choice with the P90. I get you with that. It's like it's not like you going, oh, I've decided to be a mega chad and I'm going to bring my 60. And it's like, no, you could bring a 30 or a 45 round and have sensible reloading. With the P90, it's just like you will suffer. P90 user. There's nothing you can do. You can't put a 20 in for the P90. So there you go.
When I would run the P90, I would just bring like 12 mags, like get a big rig and like put them in a backpack and no spare ammo. Because I'm like, I'm not. If I'm packing mags, something has gone horribly wrong. Like I'm not packing.
Yeah,
mags.
Exactly. Yeah, so I see where you're coming from on that. I mean, I do find it annoying. I'm not sure if it affects it enough. Maybe they could have taken it down a bit, but not, so it's still a consideration. Because I guess we always try to take this back to rather than just knee-jerk reaction, being like, okay, what does this actually change for the player? And I'm thinking back to my raids when I'm bringing a 60 in, and I'm like, okay, if I'm bringing in 2 60-rounders, or even 1 60-rounder, probably when I'm bringing 2, actually, I'm like, I always want to bring in like a 30 as well, just in case I end up in trouble and I really need to repack for some reason. I need a mag that's going to be quick to do so.
Yeah.
Just in case. So like I always have. So that's part of the kit, and that's sort of gone away now. So you don't need to worry about it as much.
I just don't understand. It's like I don't know. The logic just does not track with some of the stuff, in my opinion. The other thing that's weird is like I noticed a couple different things, which I'll try not to jump around so much, but like the jailbreak, for example. Isn't the jailbreak like a tier 4 trader item, or is it not?
Probably, yeah, it probably is. I can't even remember anymore, but it probably is.
It might even be like tier 3 peacekeeper. I don't know. Whereas like
it is level 4 skier.
Okay, but isn't it the one, the new meta one?
The friends?
Yeah, isn't that like Peacekeeper 3? Like I don't know. It's just like
It's also Peacekeeper 4, but you can buy it on Peacekeeper 3 with a barter.
Well, that's probably fine then.
So yes, the long and the short of it is, yes, they have screwed up the tiering of this stuff, because rather than looking at all the stats and then like, I just find BSG very strange with this stuff. They go like, right, we're going to look at all the stats. We're going to change all the stats on all these attachments, like pretty much everything. Like they haven't changed, scopes or barrels or receivers or anything like that.
Right.
But everything to do with stocks, grips, muzzle brakes, vertical foregrip, like all of the main components. We're going to change all of that, and we're not going to look at like any of the tiering, and we're not going to look at any of the prices.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why? Like, if you're going to go through and do all that other stuff, like you should look at the whole. Like, you need to look at the whole thing. You can't just like move stuff around. Like it's really weird. It's like you look at the pistol grips, for example, which, as you alluded to earlier, now have recoil component to them, which, but in an insignificant quantity, I would add. By the way, like the most
Yeah.
recoil reducing pistol grip is the butt plug, as people lovingly call it, the PSG1 style grip. It was the old meta one, the one that's the same as the
Yeah.
growl.
Yeah.
Or used to be the same as the growl, but people stopped using it and just started using the growl because the growl was lighter. That gives you minus 1.1% recoil, which is like, it doesn't make any difference.
Yeah, because the scale is like the next one down is like what, probably 1.6.
So it's 1.1% recoil. The next one is 0.9% recoil.
Oh,
The next
yeah.
one is 0.7% recoil. The next one is 0.9% recoil.
Yeah.
The next one is 0.7%. And then after 0.5, they stop giving recoil at all. And the ergo goes from 5.6 down to 0.5.
Yeah,
But you look between them, right? It's like, you've got the Ergo PSG style grip on Mechanic 4 for 27,000 rubles with 1 recoil, basically 1.1 recoil and 5.6 Ergo. And then, like, a little bit further down the list, you've got Skier 3 with the Firearm Skeletonized 1 with 0.7 recoil, which is like 0.4 worse, and 5 Ergo, which is 0.6 Ergo worse, which is 9k on Skier. It's like, oh yeah, I'm going to spend 20 or 17,000 rubles to gain 0.4 recoil and 0.6 of an ergo. Like what? This is mental. And when you look at the Evo ergo, because the PSG style grip is also heavier as well, the actual gap is like even smaller.
Yeah,
It maketh not any sense at all. And then they've nerfed the growl, but the growl's the same price it used to be. It's like, oh my god, guys, please just like do the whole thing or don't do it. Like don't do it at all. Like if you do half of it, that's like worse, I
mean, at this point, they should just like make
worse.
everything free from the traders, and you can just play gun decorator,
build
gun dress up, darling. 20, yeah.
They've added creative mode in the top right. Just press the button, and it's really strange. So this is very curious. It's like the classic BSG thing of like, oh, we're going to add like this new lever, but the lever is going to be so tiny it doesn't affect anything.
They took away levers. Like they had 2 levers and they made them like meaningless. Like I don't know. I was gonna say I feel like they need to add a lever. Like can we get like horizontal and vertical recoil separate? Like actual. I don't even think that stuff does anything. I don't even know anymore. I can't even be bothered.
That's what they need to do. They need to have
really
like
cool.
4 or 5 different components, like we talked about with the realism guy, about weapon balance and vertical recoil versus horizontal. The thing is, at this point, like I don't think they could even implement it without it just being like awful. So I think it's just better than just leave it alone. just leave it alone.
Oh my
like,
god,
there's no way.
You're so real for that.
Just no way. Yeah, I just don't trust that they are going to be able to do that without like something horrible happening. So I don't know. I mean, we're going to have to see how this shakes out. Now, like, so the second part of all of this, and I don't think there's anything else really super interesting to talk about. I mean, we didn't really talk about foregrips that much. Like the vertical foregrips, they've managed to buff the M-Lock AFG grip accidentally by virtue of just the changes they've made. So
yeah, because of the weight thing.
Like yeah, because they go on a rail and all the other stuff, and they're so low on the weight. So the most recoil reducing vertical foregrip now is still the RK2, but it's like minus 2.8 recoil and gives you 2 ergo.
Well, at least I think it's probably improved in the old one. The old one was like what, minus 3 recoil, and you got like minus 14 ergo.
Nobody ever really used it before, so
yeah.
That was that's fine to have tweaked it, but like they've just made them all like they're all so similar. I know they said, oh, we want it to be like vibes-based weapons building rather than stats-based weapons building. But that's kind of not really the point of the game.
I mean, why even have the currency? That's
why
like
have
my
attachments
thing.
or anything?
Why have trader unlocks? It's quite funny. Like it doesn't make any sense.
It's quite funny how they've gone. So okay, this thing is so there are only 3 vertical foregrips in the game with more recoil reduction than 2.5. Right, so that's the Zenit RK2, the RK1, and the RK1 on the canted mount. The Chad Flex one. I guess no, there's actually the Daniel's Defense as well. In fairness, and then you get to the next category, which is like the RK5, the RK4, yada yada, and all these things. But most of these, they've all got. I think within the top set, anything that's got 2 or more I think the most ergo you can have there is 3. So when you go to the M-Lock AFGs, these have got 2.1 recoil reduction, which, again, we're quibbling about nothing here, right? The most recoil reducing one is 2.8. So we're talking 0.7 difference to the top. So it's like makes no odds.
That's almost a
But
whole
this thing's got an
number.
ergo of, this thing's got an ergo of 5, and it's really light. So its Evo ergo is like higher because you don't need a rail, and the actual the attachment itself weighs like nothing. I think it weighs like 40 grams in the game. So it weighs almost nothing. Whereas like the RK2 weighs 200 grams.
Yeah, it's heavy.
And so now you basically just put the AFG M-Lock on every gun. It's by far the best. It's like one of the cheapest. It's like 8K. It beats every other foregrip in the game, pretty much. Like the recoil,
Well,
you're never, ever, ever going to notice.
This is the other thing that I kind of hate is like now, like weight applies so much. It's like almost more impactful than any of the stats now. But you can't see what it does. You have to do some stupid calculation. Like I don't even know what game it is anymore.
Yeah, because they flattened all the ergos, but because they didn't flatten all the weights, like the min to max weight is 50 grams. Actually, it is 40 grams to 200 grams. It's the ones that we were talking about. Because the ergos now go from 5.8 down to 1.8. Well, yeah, those two things are both on the same order. Previously when it went from like -3 to +9 or something, well, at least ergo did broadly have the most effect. Like weight had a little bit of an effect, but ergo was the main thing because you can actually like see it in the game and understand what it does. Whereas now, because the min to max is only what did I even say it was? Like 4. It's like 4 ergo top to bottom. It doesn't make like the Evo ergo of this AFG grip thing, which is like the weight adjusted ergonomics, is 7, and the lowest Evo ergo is -0.1. So you actually get more. You get more like bang for buck out of weight than you do out of the other. I mean, the thing is, it is still kind of meaningless, really, at the end of the day. Like we're not talking about big amounts. We're talking like 7 ergo equivalent, and recoils in the range of
3.
What's the best? Like less 2.5.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't really matter. But like now we've taken all of the progression out of the attachment system. It doesn't really make any difference what you use anymore, for the most part, except suppressors now are still really important.
Yeah.
Stocks still matter a lot. But now, like, uppers and barrels are like everything.
Everything, right.
At this point. Like, the barrel on an M4 gives you a 4 recoil swing, which is more than you can get from a grip.
And
a vertical foregrip combined.
Yeah.
And combine that with the uppers as well, right? Like the uppers on the M4 go from 0 to -5. The handguard goes from 0 to -3, and the barrels go from -2 to -6. So there's like those things are actually more impactful. And it's crazy. And they nerfed a load of the really good stocks as well. The Zhukov stock, the AK Evo. I think that's maybe okay because people just use them on every build. So that's kind of all right. They're actually those ones. People have complained about those, but I feel like they're actually kind of more balanced.
I mean, on one hand, I could see how you can make the argument that foregrips shouldn't have a major impact because, whatever frivolous reasoning, but for like gameplay wise, if you have a gun that early wipe that can accept a foregrip, sometimes you could get a decent amount. Like, getting +7 ergo on a gun that's, like, 35 ergo was kinda like, it was, like, a pretty nice upgrade. So, like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, now you could say the gap between those types of things isn't that great anymore. Like a, pure wooden AK versus a, steel AK with a foregrip on it.
Yeah.
But
like the gaps are much smaller.
That's with an AK analogy, where if you go off like an AR platform, that gets a little, because AR platforms are already fairly modular in terms of like grips and stuff, and then you start getting the barrels and handguards, which tend to, like, even handguards are gonna do way more. You're gonna get so much ergo for handguards. I don't know. I mean, it's just classic PSG. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. The second part to it is kind of like my own issue, but I'm going to complain anyway because this is our podcast, so this is the place to complain. I feel like I've been unfairly done in by BSG here on this change because I went through and did all the stuff.
Yeah.
And we've had scandals before around my analysis. Let's put it that way. Do you remember the alien tech
Yeah.
muzzle break?
I was just about to say it.
Lest ye forget. Anyway, so I went through, and this is confusing, right? So it took a while to go through everything, figure out what was going on. Like the data's not up to date. You know, you're like trying to like pull through. It's not like you've got everything just perfectly up to date.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning. DB for Tarkov did help a lot, but there was like some things in there that weren't up to date straight away. So like trying to compile, like me and the dedicated in the community trying to compile together like muzzle brake combos, like everything's changed, like all the pistol grips are different, like oh my god, like all the combinations of all the various things. I'm just like trying to think of like random edge cases of stuff I might have forgotten. Anyway, so I do like the video and I'm just like, yeah, you look through the stuff, and because of the way that the weight works, like the mini monster and the thunder beast are probably like by far the best suppressor. And maybe you want to go for some of these like loud ones if you really want to. The foregrips don't really make much difference, but this thing is much better. They've forgotten about the SR25 because the inbuilt suppressor for that is not a suppressor; it fits somewhere else. So they forgot to change that. So that's like way better than everything else. I think the next best one was -12 or something, and the SR25 inbuilt suppressor was like -18. That new Mark 11. I was like, this thing's like kick ass in comparison. And then from the pistol grips, I was like, they've got this really expensive one, the Ergo PSG style, but the Orion for some reason is just like almost the same, and it's like way better. I went through like all the stuff in the big video, did the whole thing, and then I post it, and then literally like 3 hours later, I'm getting people being like, I'm trying to build the M4, because at the end I was just like, what does a Metro M4 look like now? And I built it live, which I'm quite glad I did actually. And people are just being like, I'm trying to do what you did, and I'm not getting the same stats. Like, this is crazy. And like I go back and look with like a few other people, and BSG are just like, they're just like live changing the stats on random things. And it's almost as if, and I mean I say almost as if, they went through my video line by line and changed all the shit based on what I said, which is good in some way. But as a creator, that is like such a pain in the ass, because basically 3 to 4 hours later, my like 3 hours of work analyzing all the stuff and coming up with like what's the best thing has all been removed like 4 hours after posting it.
Yeah.
Like, damn it! Like, what? If you're gonna do a full pass on this stuff, like make it the full pass, leave it for a bit, see what happens, like let it shake out. But because like stuff was just like clearly not done well on the first stage.
Oh, Giga, you act like they
an
have
emergency pass needs to go through on the second chance. So like, yeah, maybe it gives me opportunity to make another video, maybe, but I don't know if I want to. It's just like I have to make another video, the same thing, being like, oh, by the way, the last video that you just watched, like all of it's changed now compared to this one. And then obviously they change it again. It's like it puts me in an impossible situation, because some people had said like, oh, maybe you should just like wait until it shakes out. And I'm just like, I can't, because I'm pretty certain, I'm like 90% certain that a lot of the changes were because of what I said. It doesn't matter when I say it. I mean, it's a good thing, right? It's a good thing to have that kind of impact. That's quite fun in a sort of as a little like nugget on its own. But like, if I waited 5 hours, none of that stuff would have changed, because it was me that said it, and that was the reason why I got adjusted. It's like the Orion grip in particular on its own was the only thing that got changed within the pistol grips. The SR25 suppressor got adjusted.
Yeah, I mean that was
the
probably
MOE
bound
was
to
still
happen.
the best. The MOE stock was still the best stock, so they changed the ARE. Like, none of that stuff was in there before when I did my thing, and now it's all changed. Now it's all different. The buffer tube, the good buffer tube.
Oh, they made it worse.
Yeah. So now all of the buffer tube stocks are all relatively worse by like 2 recoil points.
But you said that
like
the MOE was the best in slot, so why would they change the buffer tube?
I don't know, but relatively speaking, that means that now something like, so all of the buffer tube stocks have now dropped down, right? The list. And so now if you're then looking at which ones are the best, it ends up being something that doesn't have a buffer tube on it. It's like the Ace SOCOM ends up being kind of like the best bang for buck, because it's like
so weird.
It's so weird. Yeah, it's so weird, because like the best one is still, well, actually now it's technically the Colt A2, because they didn't do anything with that. So that's now got more recoil than the ARE for some reason. So the Colt
What?
A2 plus the PRS Gen 3 is now the best for recoil reduction, but that reduces your ergonomics by a ton.
Mm-hmm.
And that gives you minus 25. Yeah, that gives you minus 25. But then you can go, if you go down to like minus 23 recoil, you can go with like the ARE and the GL Shock, which is okay, but that only gives you like 2 Evo ergo. So if you want to go down a little bit lower than that, then you get to minus 22 recoil, which is probably the sweet spot, I think. And for that, and that's the one I'm talking about with the Ace SOCOM, you can get like plus 14 Evo ergo with that one.
Is the Ace?
So I think like bang for buck, I think that's probably the best. But the Ace SOCOM is one that no one has ever used ever.
Is it like really? Does it have like the? Can you put a rubber butt pad on it?
You can.
Its own unique one.
Yeah.
I feel like I remember that one being like progression wise, like really bad for what it used to do in the past.
Yeah. So that one's not bad now. The other thing that's very close to it is the AK-12 default stock is also very close to it. So, you know, for like a mid-game, like bang for buck, ergo versus recoil, you're probably best off putting on like the M4 carbine or the ATP with an AK-12 default stock instead. That's very, very close to the Ace SOCOM. That gives you lots of ergonomics for the recoil that you get. It's like, what are we doing?
I mean, it's just BSG stuff.
Like,
I
what are
mean,
we doing?
Giga. I don't know why you're complaining. You act like BSG has got an internal database of all the information, and a team of game designers to set up this information and sort it and balance it. Hey, I don't know why you're making such a big deal out of it.
It was so funny. There was I think it was TerraTex who was posting. I think somebody posted first. Oh no, it was Aaron who replied to me on something just being like rip all our gunsmiths. And I was just like, oh my god, the comment section is just going to be like out of order.
Yeah.
And then I think TerraTex posted just being like, you know, or somebody posted saying like, you know, surely they'll have like changed the guns. And I'm just like, first time, like it's like there's no way. There's no way to change anything to do with the gunsmiths. No way.
What an amazing
Yeah.
game.
Oh my god. So yeah, it's just like, oh god. I don't need like, and now I'm not sure what to do. So now I'm not sure what to do. I'm not sure whether to do some stuff again. Because like most of the changes people already know, like some of the stuff is still valid, like the suppressors is still valid, the grips is still like mostly valid. It doesn't make that much difference. The foregrips don't make that much difference. They only messed around with a few very specific things. I did actually caveat in the video being like, the SR25 suppressor is really good, but it probably won't be for much longer. And then like, yeah, 3 hours later it got adjusted. So I think the main thing that changes is probably the stocks because of the ARE nerf. Other than that, what else did I write on my little thread thing? What did I say? Oh yeah, so they swapped the ergo on the PMag 5, the PMag 60 and the Mag 5s because they were, the square looking one was -7 and the round looking one was -9, but the round looking one is super heavy, so that one having less ergo meant that the gap between the two was like really dramatic actually, because the big round one is like 600 grams. It's like really heavy, and the square looking one is 200 grams or something. So the relative performance of that one is like a lot better. So they swapped those around to reduce that a little bit. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. They made the BMD worse than the Fortis Red Break. So if you're using AR-10 or 7.62 NATO style guns, like the SR-25, the best like muzzle attachment now is the Fortis Red Break, and it's better than the BMD, and it costs less than half what the BMD costs. I don't know why
the
they've nerfed
BMD
the BMD.
one that
it's the 3-part loud thing.
Oh wow, okay, yeah,
It was like the old swag, like loud and proud. You know, you stick it on the RD, like run around with the muzzle flash on everything, but it's just crazy. You can just buy the Red Break and just put it on,
which is better because it doesn't have muzzle flash.
It will have some, but the recoil is lower.
Oh yeah, sorry.
It reduces recoil more.
It doesn't have more muzzle flash. Let me say it like that.
Yeah, it reduces recoil more. It has better ergo. It is cheaper. It is strictly an upgrade.
But we killed meta. Meta bad. We know like meta. We killed it. Meta gone. Game fixed.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know. Like, does it make that much difference overall? Probably not. It removes some of the progressional systems out of the game because now you can kind of build a meta gun with random parts. You still need the good parts to make a meta gun, though, by the way. I mean, the guns that this relatively improves, I guess,
You need
are the
less
guns.
meta parts to make a meta gun.
You need less meta parts to make a meta gun. I wonder whether this makes the meta guns. Oh no, it's changed. So the thing is, it's changed. So what's happened is recoil is lower. Recoil reduction is lower overall,
Mm-hmm.
and recoil reduction is percentage based.
Mm-hmm. Which means high
So
base recoil guns get more recoil reduction from. I mean, it's all percentages, so it doesn't really matter.
which was always the case.
Yeah.
So relatively speaking, weapons with a low base recoil have been impacted less badly.
Mm-hmm.
So things like the MDR are probably on a relative buff, like bullpups and those things are probably on a relative buff.
Mm-hmm.
Ergo is a fixed amount. The guns that are really struggling right now are the ones that haven't seen much love on. I remember somebody pointing out like the mutant, for example, because you used to make up for a lot of the stuff on the mutant with the growl and some of the vertical foregrips or whatever.
Yeah.
And like those ones with low ergo, where you were kind of like grinding right along the boundary of the ergo limit now, are like really tough to build into something good. So those ones that are kind of on the extreme, I think, have been hit quite hard. So like the foul and the foul was not great anyway, and the mutant was already sort of out of favor, like long barrel builds, but now they're like really bad.
Yeah,
because you can't make up for them elsewhere. The meta ones with like the drums are actually fine because they've lost all of that.
So weird. What about
they've lost all of the negative ergo there?
What about some of the more obscure grips that go on like the Keymod stuff? What are those? Did they do anything interesting? And there was one that used to give like 10
good
ergo.
Point. Yeah, let's check. I actually haven't even looked at those. That's a good point. Let's have a look. I know that you can fit it to one of the SVD modules, can't you?
Yeah, there's
Let me see which one can you fit.
one,
I think it's the SAG Mark 1. Which one is it? Is it this thing?
Or even a foul.
You
can do it on a foul. There's a long key mod. You can't find it there.
Let me do it on the foul because I can't remember on the SVD. Oh yeah, it's not called foul in here, is it? Well, I could look at it in the actual game. I'm using DB for Tarkov at the moment just because it's an easier way to do the comparison. Actually, maybe I'll stay in there. Actually, I'll stay in DB for Tarkov.
I don't know if I've ever used that site before.
So this, I mean, it is good. It is good. What's blocking me? The barrel. Okay. So we've got. Here we go. Keymod. Okay. So. So the one that used to be 10 and give you no recoil adjustments, this is now minus 1.2 recoil and plus 5.5 ergo. So it's incredibly dull.
Because what was the top end for the ergo on the other ones? Like 7, you said?
Previously, I mean, maybe the ergo's not bad.
Can't remember what you said.
Let me just quickly pull up one of these other ones so I can figure it out. So yeah, so the M-Lock ones were 2.1 recoil and 5 ergo.
This is like, what did you say, 5.2?
And this is 5.5.
Okay. So, I mean,
most ergo that you can get is 5.8 on the Cobra.
Okay.
So 5.5, and that's minus 1.2 as well. So it just beats that. Then you've got like another couple. There's one with 6. The other one, the one that looks like a normal vertical foregrip, that one's now 6 ergo and minus 1.1 recoil. Is that the highest ergo? Maybe that is actually the highest ergo grip in the game now, technically speaking. It's this Monstrum Tactical Vertical Foregrip Keymod. with +6. It's not bad. And it's only 300 grams as well. So that's actually quite good. If you want Ergo. Might be one of the better ones. And then there's another one which looks like it's not as good, which is the Sig Sauer Vertical Foregrip Keymod. -1.7 recoil and +3 Ergo. So that's kind of middle of the road.
I have another one I want to ask. What about the AUG Foregrips? The ones that are like fixed. Are those still the same? Not that it really matters. I'm just curious. Morbid curiosity.
Yeah. So the AUG
Wasn't it used to be like...
-0.4 with +2.
Oh, they changed it.
Yeah, apparently so.
Oh, because I think it used to be just you get like a straight up +4 Ergo or something.
Something like that.
Okay.
I forget, but yeah,
Maybe
something along those lines.
Okay.
Mm.
Huh.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, yeah. So the one thing I wanted to say from earlier that I waited because I didn't want to jump around. We already jumped around a lot, but speaking of breaking progression, PT lock. What's up with that? Did they change that again?
In what sense?
After you publish your video, did they change the PT lock?
I don't think so.
Because you basically, from what
still
I
pretty good.
saw, from what I saw, like essentially, as soon as you get skier level 2, you get the PT lock with the PT1, is it? Or is it PT3? I think it's PT1 and a butt pad. So you do like Gunsmith to get the butt pad. And essentially get the best in slot, bang for buck type of balanced stock in the game.
Yeah. I mean,
which also seemed weird.
Let me just triple check. Let me just triple check this one. Because I think, somebody said that changed. It's so hard to know what's going on now.
Okay.
Because my information was like out of date. But anyway, let me just triple check that this is correct. So the PT lock with the PT1 and the pad. So the pad is still -1% recoil and +2 ergo. So you lose. So the PT1 plus the pad is better on recoil than the PT3, but is worse on ergo than the PT3. So you could get -26 recoil overall with the PT1 and +9 ergo. And for the PT3, you get 24.5 recoil, so it's like 1.5 worse, but you get 3 more. You get 3 more points of ergo, and it's a lot lighter the PT3, so you get more of this like weight evo ergo as well. So there's kind of 2 alternatives.
Now does the is that the GP20 or GP1 or GP25 butt pad you're referring to?
Yep, the basic one. And the lock PT1 and butt pad is the second best in slot after, the weird thing and the knuckle adapter and the MT crosshair and the PRS Gen 3, one of those like, Mongol combinations that gets you -26.5 and like ergo through the floor, like one of those horrible ones. There's always these technical like, oh, it's best in slot for recoil things that people used to use sometimes before the recoil rework, but like not anymore. So you gain half a recoil extra, but at the expense of like 15 ergo swing, and like on an evo ergo basis, like 30. It's like it's like a drum mag's worth of like weight ergo combined. So the PT1 pad on recoil is like second best, but it actually has like a positive impact on the gun from an ergonomics perspective. And you have to go down to the PT3 before you get like a big jump. But I mean, that being said, like, I don't know, this is the thing. It's like the recoil matters a lot less. So there's a lot of people like crying about the AK Evo being destroyed, right? But I actually feel this is like the funny thing. I don't want to just like complain the entire time because like some of the stuff is okay. I feel like some of the suppressor stuff is like broadly all right. I think the suppressor stuff is fine. Like they're different enough. There's like some choices in there. I do think they could have done something more with the muzzle brakes, but that being said, it's like I'm not sure about the pistol grips and the vertical foregrips because I think they're sort of too similar, or like there's not enough levers they have to pull to like make them different, and they haven't looked at the prices. So those are the complaints. But for the stocks, I know people just like using the AK Evo and the Zhukov on every single gun, which is kind of what BSG were trying to get rid of. And if you look at the AK Evo now, it looks a bit more fair. It's like PT1 on the pad -26 but +9, and then you got the PT3 -24.5 but +12, and then you've got the AK Evo -24 but +15. So it's
I
like, okay,
see.
there's a sliding scale here, and you're going to like
Yeah, yeah,
choose
yeah.
something.
Yeah.
I'm actually not necessarily opposed to that, really. I
Yeah.
think that broadly makes sense.
Yeah, you got the recoil one,
Then
you
to
got the balance one, you got the
and we've got the ergo one, yeah.
yeah.
To get any more, I mean, can you get more ergo than that? Let me see. Can you get more ergo than
You have to do some weird
the?
stuff probably.
Yeah, not really. You can do. I mean, you really do sacrifice recoil on the altar of ergonomics at that point. You could do like
Mm.
the random RSA 5.5 like rail stock adapter, and then put like the SIG CTS on it. You can get like 30 Evo if you do that, but that your recoil goes down to -18, so that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So yeah, but like yeah, that's the thing. I don't mind it too much. I think that's kind of okay. And the Zhukov's sort of in the same position. The Zhukov's like more ergonomic now than it was. If we go to the 704 or something, and go and look at those. Again, you've got like the crazy one. That one's a little bit more nuanced actually. So the minimum recoil for that is 27.5. PT1 and pad is 26. That's still probably worth it because it's like the only positive green number from an ergonomics perspective in a sea of red. So that's quite good. And then it's like 26. Where does the Zhukov take you down? Yeah, so the Zhukov now is like -23. So you're losing like 3% recoil to go for the Zhukov, which is quite low. You get a lot of ergo. It goes from 9 to 15.
Mm-hmm.
And Evo ergo, it's like 10 points. Because it is lighter again. So it's like, it's okay. It's all right. Like, it's still the best of the... When you're looking through the random combinations, it's still like the Evo ergos in this category are like 7, 6, 2, 0, 3, 1, 1, 0, 3. And then you get to the Zhukov and it's like 19. You know, like it is standout compared to the others in that particular category. But you have to give a lot of recoil away for it. But at the end of the day, like, does it even matter that much? Like the 3% recoil? I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Mm.
So we're gonna have to
test it
like
and
work
find
it out. Yeah, that's the thing. Most of the time, you're probably not going to notice. I think.
Yeah.
It's probably the case. So yeah, if you have like a stock, I mean, it's just like randomly just throw something together, put the red brake on it, and any old random full grip. Oh no, we could put an AFG M lock, so we'll just do that because it's like the best grip, and then we'll just keep this. Don't bother upgrading that. So the Zhukov currently this build is 82 vertical recoil. Actually, let me change it to the Bastion. So it's 81 vertical recoil, and if you change over to the PT lot doodad, you get 77 vertical recoil. So yeah, you're like, it's like 4 recoil, but you gain 6 ergonomics going to the Zhukov. So it's like, it depends on how much you want to turn the dial up or down.
Can I take you down memory lane real quick for just a second?
Yes.
You
Yes, you may.
remember back when we used to have like these hidden recoil profiles to our guns, like the Scar, for example, was just like this completely vertical weapon. No, I
Yeah.
kind of miss those days. I was just thinking earlier.
It was an interesting time.
Yeah, because you could like you could take these kind of like not so meta guns and like they were like budgety, but they had like the little quirks. I was thinking about my goofy build I did it with my SKS. I took like a drum mag for the SKS. This was like a late wipe, so I loaded all of VP, and then I think I just like slapped on all recoil reduction, and I had like terrible ergo, and because it had the body, the chassis I was using had like a little rail up top, you could put like a laser, and I put I put like one of the ampex on there. But and when you go to ADS, because there's no sight, all you see is the back of the laser device. So it was the anti-ADS guy who just kept the laser device on, and he just running around interchange like pop 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 pop, just one tap, like, or not one tap, but just spamming the mouse button. Uh,
Mad.
I think I
Good
did that.
times.
Yeah, I think I did that because it also had some weird recoil profile or something. It was like completely. Remember when the AUG would like go to the right or something? weird. It had like
Yeah, when it first came out, like pulled up as well, and the PPSH did as well.
yeah,
It had these like weird angles, these like
yeah.
bias angles on the guns, and they just look unusable. It's like, oh, we've managed to. The vertical and horizontal recoil is already like, horizontal is already quite hard to control, but now we're going to merge vertical and horizontal recoil into this like unholy system
Yeah, I think they had the
that
AUG
makes
where
the
it
gun
was
completely
like
unusable.
the angle is like a right angle. Like actually the gun could
Yeah.
go completely up or it could go completely to the right. So you had no idea where it was gonna go.
Yeah, it was like a 45-degree bias with like a,
Yeah.
with like a 90-degree total arc, like possibility or something.
It
Just
was
like you
ridiculous.
fire and it's like horizontal and also vertical, going horizontal at the same time, which is just like,
Yeah.
what the hell's going on here? Yeah, that was insane.
Fun times.
That was insane. Oh man. So yeah, all that being said, it's interesting times in Tarkov land. What are we to do, eh? What are we to do?
But, they say Tarkov, it's like a journey. It's not about the sprint, it's the marathon transition.
Oh my god. Yes. So we'll move on to marathon. I've been playing some marathon, not as much as I'd have liked, but still, I managed to get some hours in. I was going to do some today, but I had to there's loads of admin I had to do today, unfortunately. So I only got to tinker around with a little bit of stuff. But yeah, I've been playing it. I've actually, I mean, the overall overarching thing I would say is that like, I'm having more fun than I thought I would. I thought I was going to enjoy the process anyway, but I'm actually enjoying it more than I thought I would. B, I'm absolutely sick of social media, and those of you not really on Twitter or whatever, like, it's honestly been a freaking blessing or a godsend for you guys, because it literally every other post is somebody pulling up like Steam charts, Steam DB, comparing player numbers of marathon to others. It's just like, oh my god, can we just stop with like the over analysis every hour? Like, you get a new tick of information and everyone's like, I'm writing 5,000 tweets about like the player numbers. I'm just like, oh my god, can we just stop? Can we just like either play the game or don't play the game? Just shush. And it's not been helped by some other. There was a apparently supposed to be tongue-in-cheek post from Slay the Spire that came out. There was supposed to be like kind of like I don't know, what would you even call it? So they were just like I don't know what the phrase for it is. So they basically made a post saying, I know that Marathon has released today, kind of thing, but while big AAA games like they didn't say it in exactly this way, but like while big AAA games like Slay the Spire are being launched, do remember to go and support out the little indie games like Marathon or whatever. And it was supposed to be so they said in a follow up, there was supposed to be kind of like a sort of making a joke of themselves, like pretending they're the big guys and the Marathon is the small guys. And then they were like, they actually posted afterwards being like, we didn't expect this to blow up in the way that it did. And we also didn't expect to get as like more players than Marathon, by the way. So when you read it back with the context of like what the player numbers actually are, it looks like uber snarky.
Yeah.
But like supposedly that wasn't the idea. But yeah, anyway, so that's quite funny. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I've actually enjoyed it more than I expected. So, what about you? Before I like delve into like loads of details or whatever, like, what are your thoughts so far to play?
I mean,
How much more have you played since we last spoke?
Same. I don't know. Let's see what my hours say. 1 hour and 30 minutes. 1 hour and 40 minutes is my total playtime.
Oh, on the launch version. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and you did what was in the slam? 10,
like
15?
10. Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot less. Like but I don't know. I mean, it's still kind of the same thing for me. Like I was actually planning on not buying it because I asked my friend. I was like, "Hey, what changes? Did they make any changes?" And basically, like, no new changes. And I was like, "Oh." But then I was just like, ADHD brain. I gotta like progress the system. Let me grind this out real quick. I mean, I don't know. I'm probably not gonna get my money's worth, but whatever. I'm playing it. I mean, it's okay. It's just like I just really don't like the solo. Like I don't like, which I will say this time around, I am like the two things I'm doing is like I'm I am being very cheap in these early runs and like stockpiling all my meds. Like the problem I ran into the server slam is I got to a point where I basically had everything but meds. So like
Yeah.
which like I don't want to run good gear and not be able to heal myself. Like that doesn't make any sense. So
Yes.
and then I was trying to do free kits and like you just can't. The free kits are like like the free kits are pretty bad. Like the overrun AR, it's like paper mache weapon. Like it fires paper mache bullets. It's made of it. Like that gun, you cannot. I'm actually like 90% certain. This probably isn't true, but I'm almost certain you just if you dump a guy in like the chest, he won't die with a single mag. Like it's so bad. That gun is so bad. But God, yeah. What was I even saying? So yeah, I'm stockpiling meds. I'm starting to bring them out because now I got a lot. But I mean, there's like literally, it's like you take one extract and you expend all your meds just to extract. Like I don't know. I just really don't like the solo bots. But I'm playing a lot more stealthy, which is like kind of okay. But I just don't know, man. I'm just not really too sold on how the solo experience. Like if you're playing the squad, I think it's like totally fine, great, dandy. But I don't really like. The only thing that makes me uneasy is the TTK. I just think it's a little too low. But I was telling Giga earlier before the cast, I was like, yeah, I mean, this time around I'm playing a lot more like reserved and cautious because I think in like presentation and look, it looks and even like what they're like marketing as, like it looks like this Apex type of game. It's like
Yeah.
it's very similar health systems and whatnot, and then like the colors and moving stuff. It's like feels kind of similar, but especially if you're playing glitch like me, where you like slide. Um, but it's like absolutely not. Like you just actually die as long as you don't have the overrun AR. Like you actually just melt people so fast. Kind of
Yeah.
crazy.
It is. It is crazy, and I think in solos it is very interesting that difference where people just melt instantly, and the bots are like so strong in comparison.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people do actually have issues with the bots. I mean, I did a video about it. It's not like not one of them. I'm expecting to get like a huge number of views, but kind of just like my general thoughts about the solo experience, how it is now, what they've changed it, like solo queue. Yeah, that's great, but the bots I do think they need to be adjusted in some way. We either need to do more damage against them, or there need to be less of them. Or I think because of the strength of them, I actually feel like solos do just need to do more damage to the bots. And I had a conversation with somebody about this, which I thought was interesting. Basically saying they were like, I don't really like the idea of changing the health though on the bots, because then it means if you're playing with duos or trios, then they feel different. Like you
yeah,
lose
that makes
your
sense.
understanding of. Yeah, and I got that, but I was just like, I'm not sure if I want like less bots though that are just like more that are like really hard and annoying. It's satisfying to run around and like shoot some of the bots and then kill them. I was looking back and looking at some of my footage, and I know the shield guys and they're supposed to be stronger. There's like one where like, I overheat my like the Volt weapon or something. This is in the service lab, and I'm just like headshot, 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 headshot. And I'm just like, when is it going to die? Like this is
It's
insane. This is like
crazy.
actually
It
insane.
drives me crazy.
So something needs to change. RE the bots, I think. Or I don't know exactly. It's just like there doesn't really seem to be any way to deal with them properly on your own, and they just take so much of your resource. Like sometimes I even find myself running out of ammunition trying to fight
Yeah.
the bots.
Oh yeah,
Like
100%.
yes, you can change your playstyle a bit and like work around them and play a bit more stealthily, and that's okay. But I don't think that's necessarily the way we want to play the game like all the time. Yeah, when you've got loads of ammo, like it's fine. I did have some raids where I had like the bully with a couple of upgrades on it, and I had like stacks and stacks of ammo, like 3 or 4 stacks of ammo, and I did feel like I could just go around and shoot everything. So maybe it's more about that. Maybe it's about like being early on, having the crappy guns,
I think that's definitely
not really
part of
any
it.
abilities of the way to like deal with them and stuff, and that later on it'll be not as big of a deal. But I still feel like they're the same bots, regardless of like 1 versus 3s. And in trios, you can kill them easily because you like focus firing. In the solos, you can't really. It's just the way it is. Like if they've got the same HP and they act the same,
Yeah, I mean,
then
it feels like
it's
they're
just tough.
all balanced around 3 shooters hitting the same target is
For sure. For sure. But that being said, like AI can be changed. I don't mind about that. The PvP I have actually enjoyed quite a lot, and the low TTK has caught me out quite a few times. People sitting around in places doing not very little. People camping. There's a lot of camping actually. I was quite surprised how ratty people are playing in Marathon, because I think you were saying to me beforehand, like how the game kind of looks like Apex, but it really isn't that game. And yeah, people are like really ratty, like almost on like Tarkov level actually.
well, see, that's
I've had like people like hear you and then they just like hide in a corner for all eternity until you turn up, and then walk around the corner and like they get an advantage on you because the TTK is so low, you die. So you have to be like super careful. I was like, I actually feel like I'm having to play, and maybe this is why I'm enjoying it actually. I feel like I'm having to play the game like EFT. Like when I was playing Ark,
mhm,
I've kind of got off the boil with Ark a bit. It's like I really loved the game. I thought it was great,
mhm.
but I just don't really feel any like big drive to go. I could go and do the expedition and do this, that, and the other, but I don't really, because it's not very threatening, the world. Like once you figure out how to kill the big arcs, and I'm not really going to be able to kill the big
Yeah,
mate shark without a team on my own. It's just like, well, that's
I know
just a
what you're
huge bullet
saying.
sponge. It just takes forever. I don't feel like I can wander around. I can just dip into different bags and grab the stuff. People are going to like share loot, and then I can leave. I can do the expedition, but like I'm not really sure. There doesn't really feel enough threat there for me to feel like super compelled to do it like again and again. Like I did the expedition the first time, and next time I'm just like, I'm not sure if I can really be bothered. Whereas with Marathon, like when I'm going around, I actually feel like it's like properly dangerous. It's like I have to really clear the room and the next 2 rooms
Oh,
before I
yeah,
go back and like
definitely.
loot the bag, because like if you've caught with your head in the bag, you're just instantly killed by somebody
Yeah,
who
it
is
is
like
just so
hiding
dead.
behind the counter or whatever. And it feels like EFT. It's like you can't just like wander into gas station and like loot the thingy. You have to
Mhm.
go in. You have to clear the office room. You have to clear the main room. You have to go out the back. You have to say, okay, there really doesn't seem to be anybody here. And then you like crouch in a specific position and like just reach up to the bag that you want to grab it while you're like hidden in the most possible way. Like it feels like that in
Yeah, it
many
does,
ways. And I'm
yeah.
like, I don't actually dislike that. I actually quite like it. Um, and from a kind of like a perspective of like the runners, originally I think it's very easy to fall into the trap, or not necessarily the trap, but it's very easy at the beginning to just go, well, I'm just going to use assassin, because if I do get into trouble, I can just press my button and go invisible, and that just helps. It just means I can run away, and that's fine. But I got into a situation where I am finding, and I think this is sort of to my surprise, I am finding that I am typically I'm the aggressive player actually,
Mm.
compared to the average player base in this game, for one reason or another. Maybe it's Tarkov, maybe it's just the way I've developed as a player over the years, maybe it's
Mhm.
the way the game makes me want to fight people actually, which I don't. I'm like, because I'm quite econ heavy guy, but I think with the free kits and stuff, and the fact you can just like spam into the game and like super fast to get to another game, I don't feel like you lose that much by just like going for the fight and having a bit of fun, or whatever it might be. And the plethora of like attachments and things that are around, it feels more like roguelike in some ways. I'm like, I don't feel like oh, I've got this thing and I'm never going to see it again. Like, oh, I see these like little scopes quite often and pop them on when you get them, and it's like, oh, okay, I'll upgrade my raid, and oh, this is fun. Or maybe I'll go and take this fight now, or whatever. But anyway, so I'm like, I often find that I'm the aggressor actually. Like, I see somebody and I'm like, oh, I'm going to hunt them down. And with Assassin, I've had a couple of situations already where people are like starting to figure it out. Like, you're not actually invis, especially if you're moving. You've got this ripple shade shroud effect on you.
Mhm, mhm.
And one time I was fighting into this Vandal player, and I like got the first volley off, and then I went invis, and then just like charged down the corridor. She just shot me, and I was like, "All right, like my ability is actually not useful in that particular. Like, yeah, you can flank around, but then you have to break line of sight. And I was using smokes, but then you can't see through the smoke, and then people are like Houdiniing on me all the time. I was like, this is really annoying. Like, I can get out, and I'm not dying, but I can't clinch the kills. This is a real pain. And someone in my chat was like, oh, you should try the recon runner,
Yeah.
which I hadn't really seen people talking about before with solos. And I was like, yeah, okay, like maybe you could try recon. But if you go and look at her kit, because I was like, I'm not sure if I really want to do this as a solo, but what she's got like the regular ability is the mechanized microbot that tracks down nearby hostiles and explodes overheating targets. And overheating is like really strong because it stops you from sprinting.
I didn't know it
Until
overheats.
you're like, yeah, until your heat bar goes all the way back to 0, you can't sprint at all.
Mhm.
There's nothing. You can't do anything that require, like, you can't slide. You can jump still, but you can't run. Like, it's really problematic being overheated. It's crazy. And then you've got this one. When pinged by a hostile runner, you'll automatically receive a warning of your shell's HUD. I was like, well, that sounds okay, but what if they don't ping you? And there's like performing a finish on a runner pings their crew, which as a solo isn't really important. So that one's not really that great. But the other one that I didn't really think about that much, I thought that sounds cool, and then I used it, and I was like, this is amazing. Is the other trait, which is Stalker Protocol. After breaking the target's shields, they leave behind a lingering holographic trail for a short time. So even without using the
Oh, I
ultimate
didn't even know that.
ability, if you like see somebody, you pop down the tracker drone, you open fire, they turn around to try to fight back. The drone appears in their face and overheats them. You know, you usually have broken their shield by that point, but normally I haven't killed them because my guns either aren't that good enough, or my aim isn't that good, or the range, or whatever. I don't quite kill them, but I do break the shield. They're now overheated. They can't sprint anymore, and they're leaving behind like a trail of holograms. Behind, like it's like almost footsteps, like red footsteps. So I'm just like, follow the trail. There you are. Gun you down, like no problem. And it's like, and if you kind of lose them a bit, then you've got your ultimate ability, which is the advanced detection sonar things, releasing this series of sonar pulses that reveal there's like pulsing wall hacks kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I found this as actually working a lot better for me than Assassin was, because I'm the one on the on the aggression a lot of the time.
Right.
I need to be using this a lot more. So I need to be just like going into an area and being like, okay, this is a hotspot. Because I had one to do this morning. I just played like one random raid. I was like, right, I had some stuff to do, like loaded in, almost like Tarkov style. I was like, load in, just like stand there for a minute because I need to go and do something, come back. It's like 8 minutes into the raid already. I'm like, okay, it's like cool down a bit. I just need to go and grab something. I wander up to the hotspot, plop in through the roof. There in the corner, Assassin, who's literally sat there not making any noise whatsoever. I think he probably ran to the hotspot and has just been sat there for 10 minutes. Or maybe he was just in there and crouched in the corner when he heard me coming. One or the other. I pop down, he instantly annihilates me as I drop down through the hole in the roof. I'm just like, I have an ability that shows me where everybody is. I should just use the ability. Like it's like the anti-ratting shell.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that ability
show you where he is.
So annoying.
I can drop down and pre-fire the guy.
Yeah, I was playing duos with my friend, and like he was playing Destroyer, and I was playing Vandal, which I'm starting to like just really come to terms that Vandal is just like might have the worst kit in the entire existence of. Like, actually, like, I mean, you get double jump, which is, like, kinda okay. I mean,
and the power slide is, like, really good for repositioning as well. I've seen, like, a lot of the high skill players use Vandal.
I think the problem with that is that it costs, like, at base, like, base stats, it costs, like, half your stamina bar.
I was gonna say, like, the slide is, like, a lot of heat.
And you can't not use the power slide. Like, if you want a short slide, that's also another issue. It's like I can't not double jump. Like, if I want to mantle, like I was in another situation where I wanted to mantle, but I was falling, right? So how do you not double jump, but mantle something when you're falling? You can't. You have to double jump. So it's just like, yeah, because you can jump and hold space, and then if you touch the object, you can mantle. But if you're falling, you can't do that. So it's just like there's like those little things there that just kind of, anyways. But the recon, so we were playing, and like we kept getting, basically the recon kept screwing us because maybe we would pick one off, but then the recon ults is like, well, I guess now we have to reposition because like we're getting pinged, so like they know where we are, but like you don't know exactly what they see. You know what I mean? It's like I just see those yellow or blue thing span out. It's like, oh, I've been pinged. It's just, I don't know, that character. I haven't played her yet, but sounds like based off what you're saying, sounds like she's really freaking good. I don't know. I haven't
she does seem quite good, yeah. But I did get like debated by it one time, which is really annoying. I was like chasing after another Vandal, and the ping went like up somewhere. I think maybe they'd like jumped or something, and so the ping was up, and so I looked up like this, and they were actually down here and just like owned me, and I was like,
oh, okay,
no, and like I had like the jump on this person. I like shot a full volley off, did like I got the shield down, used the little tracker drone thing, but by the time I got round to them, because they're like faster than me, right? Because I don't have they've got more agility for a start, so they could just like move slightly quicker. So it took me longer than normal to get up to them, and then the echo pulse was like in the wrong place. God, I was like, okay, that's like really annoying. So it's not perfect because it's like it pings and then it's static.
Yeah,
and then it pings, then it
yeah.
updates,
Okay.
and then it pings and it updates. So it's like you have to be a bit careful. Like, got lured into a false sense of security with it a little bit. The other one that I was interested in, that I haven't tried yet, is Triage. Now I know, because we were talking about the meds, right? And it really does seem like a big bottleneck early, that the meds are so expensive. Like, for context, I've got quite a bit of money now. I've got like 7,000 credits or something, and the meds are 300 for one shield charge. You probably want to take 3 at least, and the patch kits are like, that's the health, 415, and again, you probably want to take 3. So that's like 2k of consumables. It's like a third of all my money to go in for one run using like regular meds, which is why a lot of people are using like the free kits. But the free kits get like such crappy meds, like it's so bad. It's like literally half a fight's worth of HP. Like, if you get into a proper scrap, you can't heal yourself to full with them from the ones that you get in with. That's fine.
But
that's okay. So I think,
did we talk about this before? Isn't that kind of weird that there is no like bottom tier? Like, there's like green tier meds and that's it. Because the bottom tier,
yeah, well, the bottom
evaporates.
tier, you get them on the free kit, don't you? Yeah, they evaporate. Yeah, you can't take them out of the raid.
You can loot them. I mean, you can loot them in the raid. Like,
Yeah.
if you go to the outskirts of the buildings, sometimes, usually they'll be there. Like, isn't that kind of weird? I don't know. I think that's kind of weird.
And they heal such a small amount too.
Yeah, they're like so bad.
Because I was looking at this earlier, I was trying to figure out like how it works. I think, based off the research that I've done, I'm not sure exactly yet. I think you have, so health and shield in this game is all the same thing, as I understand it. Don't think there's any weird like deflection, reflector shield stuff going on like there's in Ark and some of the
like
other games.
Percentage reduction.
I think it's all just one big pool. Yeah, I think it's all just one big pool, and it goes shields first and then health. You have 140 HP.
Oh, okay.
At base, because you can see that when you die, it says you got dealt 140 damage, and I believe you've got 120 HP, and each shield is 20. I think.
Okay.
So you start with 120 plus 20, and then each shield you get gives you another 20, and then you think you can get up to 4 with like the big like golden shield module. So that would give you up to
180.
180, yeah. So apparently that's the way. But anyway, so yeah, meds are a bit weird, especially early on. Like, they're expensive, and you can barter for them, but I think the things that you need to barter for them are stuff that you need for other upgrades. I believe it's like unstable. Maybe you don't need unstable biodes later.
Unstable biomass, is it?
Yeah, the unstable biomass one. Those you need those for loads of upgrades. So early on, you just can't buy the patch kits with the barter, because you need them for doing the upgrades. So anyway, so that's why I think some people are using Triage, who's the meds guy, even on solo, because I mean your like,
I see,
ult ability is useless, because it's like ready your shells defib and reboot plus revive people in EMP's hostiles. I guess you can target a hostile target. You can EMP a hostile, I suppose.
Someone EMP'd me. I don't know if they were like styling on me, but someone actually did that. I didn't know what was hitting me. I think I got ganked.
Maybe it's okay then.
I was fighting bots, yeah.
And then you've got the med drone, so you don't have to have the heals. You see, deploy a floating medical drone that attaches to crew members and restores health, recharges shields, prevents them from bleeding out whilst being down. So obviously that's not useful for us. Benefits for medicals shared between team members, so that one's also useless. And but then the last one is like kind of interesting. So it does seem that like at least one of the stats don't really, or one of the secondaries don't really matter. But yeah, if you can EMP people in battle with the triage guy, you've got this like other stat, this other, what's it called, like passive ability, battery overcharge. Although this one is actually you can put something on it. So you press V, divert energy from your cooling systems to boost the performance of your weapons at the cost of generating additional heat. While active, breaking a target's shield with a Volt weapon EMPs them.
I
was like, If you're using an EMP, if you're using a Volt weapon kit, that doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah.
Like, that actually sounds pretty sick. I'm not entirely sure
what
EMP
does.
And it's like it's in blue. I'm like literally in game. It's in blue, and there's nothing. You can't click on it. There's no glossary. I don't think. I don't know. It's a bit annoying that there's not really anything telling you like what it actually is. So, because I've not been EMP'd, so I'm not actually sure what it looks like.
I don't know. Isn't it whatever?
It's one of those things, though, like when it happens to you in raid, you're probably like trying to desperately stay alive. Not going like, oh, this is an interesting effect. Let me look at this.
I know,
by the time you actually get it,
yeah. I had to have, and I was
like frantically, like
I was reading something and I was like, why am I sitting here reading this, thing in the container? And when it's like out in the open, it's like, I just like, yeah. Something that I meant to,
What does EMP do?
something I meant to say earlier, one good counter for recon, but it's kind of a weird, thing. You have to pre-prep and you have to have it is the signal jammer. It's like an effect where you basically like censor yourself. Like, you know how you got like security cameras and they're looking at someone, like in real life, and then they'll like blur the person out and it'll like be all pixelated or
Hmm.
blurry. Essentially how you look. I don't know. I don't know if it's like a double-edged sword because you have like this aura of blur. So like in theory, if you're like far away, you should be easier to see because you know what I mean? You're like
Bigger, sort of.
pixely and blurry. But anyways, that disables like sonar and pinging related stuff. So you could in theory if they ult you and you're far enough away, you could use that consumable. It's called signal jammer or
Hmm.
something. Anyways,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I know you can. I think you can clear. So this is the thing. I'm still figuring this stuff out actually, and this is where I think maybe there's some value in actually like putting something out because there's like the OS debug. There's like
right.
the two kind of like anti-status things. You've got the OS debug removes EMP and hack,
hmm
and you got the mechanics kit one which removes frost, immobilize, overheat, and toxin.
I don't think I've encountered frost yet.
I've not encountered frost. I don't think I've encountered immobilize unless is that.
I
I don't think you can be overweight because it's like slot based, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
I don't know what
that's
immobilize you get that from.
the those like flying drones that shoot out those octopus tentacles at you, and like I think that causes immobilize.
That's only when you're down, though, isn't it?
No, the flying drones, the ones that like hover.
Oh, I've not been got by those.
I got recently. I think that's what that does.
Do they pin you in place then?
Well, I don't know what the debuff does. I think it. I know it. I'm pretty positive it. Was like the mechanic debuff request thing. I think it said immobilize. But I don't know what that does. I
Mm.
think it might be you can't sprint, but I'm not sure. I can't remember. I don't know. One thing that I'm picking up about this game is there's kind of a little bit of a sensory overload. Like not just in terms of visual, but like audio. Like I made a mistake in the
Yeah.
server slam. I heard something and I didn't know what it was, and it was like a freaking assassin guy, and he killed me.
Right.
And so now, like anytime I hear something, I'm like always on edge. But there's literally audio playing 24/7. So I don't
Yeah.
know. And there's also like weird stuff. Like if you swap one of my guns, when I swap to it, I thought I was getting scanned, but I would swap to it and like it would like scan itself with like a blue scan line during the pull. Like during, I don't know if that was like unique to the gun animation or that was like some type of attachment I had. Like I just, it's one of my problems is like I don't know what any of this stuff is because it's not like in Tarkov. If I hear like twigs cracking, I'm like, oh, that's like a person walking on sticks. You know what I mean? Whereas like this, I hear like,
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah. And like you will learn it after a while, but it's not intuitive. This is the thing.
Exactly. It's
And
not
this is what
intuitive.
people are saying that like you'll enjoy marathon the more you play it.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah, I
but
can
it
see
puts a lot
that.
of people off to begin with. Like I already had to learn the
Yeah.
hard way. Oh, that's the sound of a marathon claymore mine. Learn.
Right,
Ask me how
right,
I know.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, so some of this stuff is just like, and I did the same as you literally yesterday, where
Mm.
I was like, huh, I think I hear somebody. Oh, I'm dead. And I was like, oh, he's like, 15 meters behind me. Like, what? Like, where
oh,
was is the sound like really that close or what? I don't know. It feels like if you hear somebody, they're like right on you. I think we're quite used to playing these like realistic style games where
right.
you hear a gunshot and it's like miles away. And like, yeah, you do hear gunshots, but footsteps are quite they're quite loud, they're quite far away, and you expect a shell runner to step on. I mean, maybe they're made of fabric, so maybe that's why. But you expect like metallic bio cyborg running on
Mm-hmm.
metal, you'd like to make some sound, but they're actually, in the same building as you. Just takes some getting used to.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I haven't played Triage yet. I mean, I am enjoying Recon. It's been pretty good to be able to chase people down, which is quite cool. I've not seen like any redeeming value on the Thief. Was Thief
I
in
haven't
the service down,
tried.
or they've not released it
No.
yet?
No.
Yeah, so it's like just seems really strange. It's like pickpocket drone is the ultimate ability. Deploy a remotely piloted drone with a limited lifespan. You can fire a hooked tether, ejects the highest value item from an inventory, collect
That's
and stores loose loot, and opens doors. You can exit the drone and return to your shell at any point, and you can, while the drone is still active, you can then go back into the drone itself. You've got a grapple hook, which is cool. It's just the grappling hook type thing, so that's kind of fun. You got like an X-ray visor, which highlights enemies and containers in the color of the most valuable item. Containers revealed through walls, but hostiles require line of sight, so it's basically pointless. I mean, maybe the containers thing, like you can see where the good loot is, I guess. This is quite fun. Like while active, aiming at a hostile for a short time hacks their optics, disrupting their vision. Like,
huh.
maybe quite good. I don't know, maybe. And then the last one is like gain increased weapon handling and accelerated grapple recharge based on the number of items in your bag.
Yeah. I mean,
It's just
it's
not a
like the
kit I
looting.
particularly want to try and like. I'm going to loot every container anyway, so I'm not sure if I want like X-ray like hacks on what's in the containers.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean,
It just
yeah.
doesn't seem a good kit, really. And like, oh, flying drone that can open the door for me. Okay,
It's a little gimmicky.
thanks. Like that.
I
That's yeah.
I did fight against someone actually. It's I didn't know what. So I was like, I spawned in. Oh, this was gonna say earlier. I gotta talk about this before I talk about what I was gonna
Okay.
say, or vice versa. Um, so I feel like one reason why people are being ratty, this is my theory, is because the bots are so hard. So a
Hmm.
different time, I was on Dire Marsh, and I spawned at like the giant long highway building. I don't know what it is. It's like on the far right side. And there's just
Mhm.
like tons of bots there. Like there's a helipad and there was literally like 3 guys with shields. So it's like, well, I can't move, like I can't interact with this place basically. But someone else is in the area and they're like also trying to interact with the game, but the bots are preventing them. So I'm playing this mini game and I think at one point they were too, I'm not sure, but I'm trying to make zero noise, avoid bots and not have them aggro or shoot at me, which they did at some point. So I can kill this guy when he's fighting the bots, which I feel like is going to be a lot of the gameplay. And also how the maps are designed. It's like you have like POI, and the POI is just like kind of in the middle of nowhere, but there's
Hmm.
like, but you can approach it from any direction. So I feel like basically my thought process is the worst place you could be is like at a point of interest finding a bot because you're so vulnerable. Like you can't
Yeah.
really. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Anyways, that's probably me and a silly issue. So back to what I wanted to say about the thief. I played against the thief, spawned in. Someone was nearby. I didn't know what was going on. I was trying to do my quest. I mean, I ratted so hard, moved around slowly. Eventually, I saw them finding bots. Is that funny? But prior to that, they there was this like drone flying near me. This little like I don't know, butterfly thing, and it shot like a little grappling thing at me. And I looked at my HP, it didn't do any damage, and I just shot it, but I didn't realize that they probably stole my loot, which is really funny. Um, and very, very much later, I end up finding them and killing them. So I probably got some of my stuff back. I didn't even know it. That's so funny. But yeah, that class seems a little gimmicky. I mean, it might be fun for solo play because you could potentially I don't know. Maybe if you're chasing, maybe it's actually a class that's better later because then you could chase more valuable um upgrade components. Like
Hmm.
they actually had a purple upgrade component for like the traders. So I'm assuming they like found that with their abilities. So maybe, yeah, I don't know.
Maybe.
It's kind of interesting. Of
One thing Just one thing I would say about all of this, and there's like
course.
I've seen people posting about like, oh, I'm going to try this with this build and that with that
Hmm.
build. Like even Aaron was posting some interesting stuff, and I was just like, man, these games like they just never learn like in the UI for these things. Ark had exactly the same problem, and if you can have abilities and buffs and all sorts of things, like you don't need to put it on the basic screen. But you got to tell people what they do. I'm sorry, like you just have to. It's like you look through all the assassins' like abilities, whatever. You look at like they should really take a leaf out of like the MOBAs books. It's like smoke
Yeah.
screen, primability, tactical camo. Oh, once you've deployed a smoke field, invisibility persists for a short time after leaving the smoke field. Like, what does that mean, guys? Like, tell us. Like, how long does it last for? Like,
Hmm.
can you just like because you can't plan until I know you can go in and test it or whatever, but it's just like it would make it so much easier if you actually you found this new core like it does reduces damage from UESC. It's like is that
How
1%?
much?
Is it
Yeah.
10%?
Yeah.
It's like you have no real understanding as to what that is, and the only way to test it is get shot. I find it really frustrating. It's like it
No, I
doesn't need to be
agree.
right on the main menu because I know some people just want to read the thing and then go in and just feel it, right? That's fine, but I feel like a lot of these games they need like a second menu, like look at the details and it shows you like a full breakdown.
Yeah, like hold Alt
You
when you
know,
hover and it gives you like expanded. I feel like my rule of thumb is like if it's not important, if you're not gonna put it up there, then it probably isn't significant enough for me to care about. It's like just how I approach it. Like I probably,
maybe,
you know,
but like the whole thing is like that. The
yeah, no,
entire,
I know what you
the
mean. Like
entire
cause
thing is like
like the
this. It's
OS abilities and
Yeah, I
EMP,
mean, I was
yeah.
looking around on the internet, and people are just like, "Man, this game like needs a glossary or a codex or something." I mean, it's good. There is a,
Oh, it has a
there is a
codex.
codex,
Every time you
just
do
not for anything
anything, it
useful.
has to notify you. Oh, by the way, you just got a new codex entry. Oh, look, you killed one person. You picked up a light rounds. Congratulations, you got a new alert. Claim your codex. I can't stand this stupid freaking thing, man. It's so annoying. Every raid I leave, I got like 5 codex entries, and it's just sitting there antagonizing me. It's so
Yeah,
I
and it's
hate.
like, here's all the stuff you did, and I'm like, oh my god, do I have to go through and like click to get rid of all the stuff?
You should be able to.
It's quite painful.
That part's weird to me because it says at the bottom, like, disable post game info, and you do that, but then you exit, and it still gives you all the post games. I don't know. I don't think that's working. I don't know what's going on there. I don't
Oh,
even
you actually
know.
get rewards for completing these codex things,
Yeah, you get skins, Giga.
not just skins. You get items.
Wow.
I didn't realize
I
okay
didn't
my
know that either.
my stash is going to be like completely rammed with
I just
stuff
clicked through
from
it.
here.
I just hate notifications. You know how I hate getting notified for
Yeah.
stuff I don't care about. It's so.
Hmm.
All right. Is that it for marathon? We move
I
on
mean,
to.
I've touched on this. Yeah, I touched on this before, but I mean, the sponsor kit thing is like really, really quite good. Just to be able to just press and go, like that's really quite good. I know that they're not necessarily that great, but you're just
Mhm.
in game like all the time if you want to be,
What
which
do you
is
think
neat.
about the sponsor kits that cost money?
I've no idea. I'm assuming they're going to be cheaper. They're like a loadout that's like cheaper than putting it together yourself. I haven't gotten it yet. I don't think
Yeah, I think you have to like get. I think
you have to
Nuke
like level up your.
or sorry, Cyber Acme. You'll be able to get
Cyber
one.
have got one maybe.
I think it's
Yeah,
probably the
so I think that's the
soonest.
only thing we haven't really touched is the upgrades. So I find the upgrades menu is like really cool rather than like functional, which is a lot of the UI with this game. So like you
Hmm.
first go into it and you're just like, what the hell is this screen trying to tell me? Like,
Yeah.
what on earth is going on here? And it's like you can decode it after a while.
Hmm.
It's like laid out in, as I say, a cool way rather than a like functional way,
Yeah.
which is kind of annoying. So you've got like all these different modules. Some of them link together in a pathway, and some of them don't. If there's a marathon yellow/green colored diamond on it, it means that you can upgrade it. At the bottom, you've got these capstone upgrades, which are based on the number of things that you've unlocked elsewhere. Like once you know what's going on, it makes sense. But when you first look at it, you're just like,
Yeah. It's not the most intuitive
oh,
thing.
I feel like I'm looking at like a NES game from
Hmm.
whenever. What is going on? This is crazy. It's not very intuitive. But some of the upgrades seem pretty clutch. I'm trying to work to, and this is what we were talking about unstable biomass before. I'm trying to work towards the heat capacity plus 20 from Cyberacme, which you can get at Syac rank 1, but you need 12 of these annoying biomass things. And I've only got 9. That's the 9 that I've managed to get to date. And then the new caloric guys, you've got where's there's like something else that's good, isn't it? Oh yeah, free daily shield charges in the armory, because as we said, the meds are so expensive. So you got that one, and then the free. Oh, that's the advanced one. Where is this one? Wait, how do you even unlock this? Oh, you need to get to level 3. So you need level 3 new caloric to do the health, like get a free health kit, and level 1 to get the shield charges. But you need 16 unstable biomasses for the shield one and 23 unstable biomasses for the health kit one. It's like, oh my god.
Crap ton. I'm actually level 6 new corralic because I wanted to like get.
Oh really?
Yeah, I just as soon as I got them, I just leveled them up. But like, my problem isn't questing or trader. It's the unstable biomass. Like I gotta like figure out how to find that stuff reliably.
Because it does tell you. It's like a lot of these games do. If you hover over it and it says sources, perimeter, hauler, overflow, dimarsh, algae, ponds, greenhouse. But like you go there and it's a war zone and there's no secure container in this game, so you have to extract or you lose it. So it does take a lot longer to get these items than it would do in a game like Ark or even in EFT, actually. Outside of the fan and raid stuff, because there is no concept of that. It's like there's no secure container. If you die, you lose it all, which is offset by the fact that there's these like default free kits, so you could never hit rock bottom because of the default free kit that's just like on infinite cooldown.
There's also Rook too. I don't know. It's
you can't do quests on Rook, so I'm not sure about him. But like maybe it's better for collecting materials like biomass.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Because like I don't know.
You spawn in later, don't you?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I haven't tried it too, but it's just kind of weird because you get permanent upgrades to Rook through the capstones on the traders, and like I remembered in the server slam my Rook being stronger than my free kit, which was weird to me. But like I guess because you can't do quests, it's fine. But it is kind of weird.
Yeah, you can't do quests, and you can be queued into any lobby, 3-man's anything. Okay. And you are only allowed to play on your own. You have to be solo.
Yeah.
So there are disadvantages. That's like the actual scav mode. That that most closely aligns with scav.
But the bots are
still
against you.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird.
The bots are still against you. Yeah. And you've still got no secure containers, like it's kind of hard, so I don't know. Like maybe there's a use for it.
Well, one run I did, I kind of just like played around the outskirts, and then I went to algae ponds because I know that spot is like everyone's got to go there early, and there's like a bunch of body bags. Like we played a match, and there was like me and my buddy, there was like maybe like 6 body bags there, and I was like, you know what? I bet I could just get some free gear if I just come here. I didn't actually get anything good that run, but yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, I don't know. I think what was there's the Mido upgrades as well, just to finish off like the overall upgrades. I think there's a bunch that give you agility early, which I also think is quite good. That requires unstable lead. Because some of them are just like, I don't really care about buying claymores or certain whatever from the shop. Right. I'm not that bothered about those things. But like the permanent stat upgrades, those seem to be the ones that it's like you really want to go for those, really. Like being able to buy stuff is one thing, but perm upgrades is like a whole other thing.
I kind of don't like. I don't remember if I talked about this in Server Slam. I don't think I did, but I don't like how you can only do one quest at a time. I will say though, I think the idea behind it is that you're supposed to like choose what upgrade path you want to prioritize.
Yeah.
But I feel like in the end, all roads lead to Rome, meaning like you're gonna want to upgrade everything more or less, I suppose. So it's just like it's basically like just really slowing the progression. I don't know. I don't know how I feel.
Yeah,
I don't know like that. Not my favorite choice. Anyways, is Ark's like that too, though, right? Actually, no. You can do multiple.
No.
Yeah, you can do multiple. Never mind.
You can do multiple in a good old Ark. Yes, I mean, yeah.
Wrap it up. Game's dead. Player count has already dropped by 20%.
Don't even with the flare can. Oh my god. Oh, it's so annoying. Genuinely, it's so annoying. But oh, like I'm kind of enjoying it, honestly. Kind of enjoying it. I think
Good.
the PvP is kind of fun, and the ability is kind of fun. I'm just quite liking the way that it plays out. It's like feels like the first solo game that we've got like this in some
Solo
ways.
game.
Yeah, that you could play like 1v1 in a extraction shooter with abilities the way they are, where there's like sort of deep, like pretty deep like build crafting or the potential for it at least.
I see what you're saying.
It's like, I'm actually not sure. Yeah, no, I'm enjoying it more than I thought I would.
Yeah, I think it's got it's got its own little niche, I think.
Yeah, for
Do
sure.
you
Okay.
remember what? You're about to say something.
No, I was just saying we should move on.
Do you remember a game called Nakwan Lost Paradise? I don't know if it's called that
Yes.
exactly. They're doing
Yes.
a open. No, sorry. I think it's a closed something. Let me pull up the page here. Eh. When is it? Closed alpha test scheduled for the 12th through the 16th of March. Now, I think it was an open beta. I played something like a year or two ago. It's actually so funny because I somehow this game came into my consciousness and I was like, is this game still in development? Because like I wanted to like play it, and I went and looked it up and there it is, Necron Lost Paradise. Now I don't know if it changed the name or not. Like I'm not sure
Nope,
what's
it's the same name.
happened. It is okay. All right. So they probably just been cooking on it. Now they showed. I don't know why none of my videos are playing. And it's just open a desktop app. But they showed some changes and it looks like it's definitely coming together. I really enjoyed this game when I played it. I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I did, but I really enjoyed it. Like I don't know, something about like it feels like you're playing Resident Evil, but like a survival. It's got like that survival. I wouldn't say survival horror, but it's like survival.
Yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for? Action survival type of thing. And it's like kind of heavy on like the melee combat. But
Kind
they
of like
got
Walking Dead, sort of like Last of Us type kind of vibe.
yes. But like they and there was guns in it. I remember getting a revolver and it's like it was so bad to use. Like you would shoot it and the recoil was like I don't know. It was just like insane, right? It was just insane. But and they were like super rare and it's like I don't know, I really liked it. And from what I saw in one of the trailers, I don't know if it was this one, it's probably none of these, but they've added a bunch of new stuff. Like now they got like a skill system where you can like learn abilities. Like one of them was like setting a bear trap or like kicking someone and like, dazing them um then I saw they had like grappling hooks, like things you could like kind of reminded me of Arc Raiders where you could like interact with the world and
Mm.
like, get places and do things and um what else was I think that's probably the main stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited. I hope I get into this. That would be super awesome because I can miss this game and want to play it. Oh, they got I
Yeah,
love this gimmick. You can like
the
build your
hideout kind of like, yeah. So I mean, I
place your
think that's actually going to be
items.
quite big for this. So like, I did a little, maybe where you saw it, I did a little segment for this. I did a like little
Oh, I
sponsor
didn't
segment
see
for these
it. I
guys.
missed it.
It was in one of the videos I did, like the big longer ones. That's probably why you didn't see. But yeah, because I remember like we played this like I was like looking back, I was like, man, it was like a long time ago when we
Yeah.
looked at the first like really early alpha for this thing.
Hmm.
And obviously it was a bit rough around the edges because it was like super early and like the zombies a bit glitchy and whatnot. But like it was kind of interesting. And the one thing we didn't really get to see a lot of was the idea. And I like the way that these games set themselves. That's why I quite like Ark. It's like, oh, we all live together down underneath, and this is how we're surviving, and blah blah. And this game is sort of like the last bastion. That's why it's called like Last Paradise, like the last bastion of humanity's surviving inside South Korea in this kind of community. And I quite liked the idea of the community itself, and we didn't really get to see much of that. You couldn't upgrade it very much when in the first one. None of that like metagame had really come to it. Whereas now you're gonna be able to do a lot more, because the whole premise of the game is that you join as a refugee, you turn up in this settlement, and I think even like your injuries and stuff kind of like persist between raids.
Yeah, they have like a
You've You've got like a much
sanity.
longer. Yeah, you got like sanity, and like if you get like a broken arm or whatever, like that doesn't fix itself straight away. It's not like
Oh, I
Tarkov. It's just
see.
like everything's fixed after each raid, but it takes a certain amount of time. I mean, I'm actually not sure if this is still in the game now. I don't know, because I'm obviously not seen it, so we'll have to see. But the original ideas were things like it takes a certain amount of time, but because you're like part of this settlement, and you're the rank 1 of the settlement, you're like a newcomer who they don't really trust. Like
Yeah.
you can't skip the trips out. But you have to go, right? Because you can choose like to not go and like wait an extra night, so like to recover. But like the society, like if you're new, you can't like skip like 2 or 3. Like they compel you. It's like you must go now. This is like your duty to the civilizations. It's like this sort of like, and you've got your hideout, whatever. This is like this overarching meta progression, which like really attracts me. The idea of that around the outside. It's like there's more. I always like this about the games, right? It's like why Tarkov's so compelling, because you've got the economic angle. So in this, it's like your societal standing matters. Like why in these other games are you trying to get traders up? Well, so I can get better stuff. So okay, that's great. But in this game, it's like, well, I'm trying to level up my hideout or whatever, so I can like heal faster, so I don't go into the next raid with like scrapes. I'm not like going to the next raid like without full HP. I need to be able to build. I don't know whether there's a med station or not. I'm not sure, but like I need to build like a better med station so I can heal like faster at home, or whatever it might be. Right, like craft things, so like they end up running out of resources. Like it just seems like it could be really interesting. Yeah, you got the graphic there of the city, and so you've got like a little room in the city that you're slowly upgrading, and you've got like your standing within the society. I think it's like a really interesting idea, because in these like super harsh survival type civilizations, like, well, everyone's got to pull, like there's going to be no dead weight, right? So you got to go out and like we're all going to die otherwise. You got to go and do your bit, and it's like going to be super harsh within the society itself.
I
Which
remember
is like,
that.
it's like kind of interesting.
It was like you had to like go do construction work or something. Like you wouldn't, you would, it was just, you were just like clicking. You had like
Yeah.
the actual gameplay, but then you had like I don't know, what would you call it? Like the menu gameplay. And it was like, I mean, they were related, but yeah, it was like, yeah, you had to like spend something or you would get something like maybe it costs like hunger. Maybe that was it. Maybe it costs hunger, but it'll like reduce your sanity or something. I can't remember. It was, I saw in
Yeah,
one,
because
I
it
can't,
depends on how much food you've got or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, I saw in one of the slides somewhere, there was one like, you could go to a religious ceremony, but it was only available on Sundays. So it was like grayed out, and it was like hear what they have to say, and it like gave you a bunch of bonuses or something. I was like,
Interesting.
that's so funny. Yeah,
That's like it's got quite a cool little concept to it. So I'm interested to see what happens.
yeah. I feel like it's. I mean, I don't know. I really like that. It's like it feels pretty unique. Like it's not like the most
It's
unique
different.
thing, but yeah. Like who's
It's
because
different,
I
and the zombies were like really powerful, and the guns were really scarce, and
yeah. You had like a
it's like you kind of
tablet.
like were supposed to sneak around them. Yeah, you had a
Yeah,
tablet,
yeah,
and like,
yeah.
everyone's got their own exfil. But it was like
Yeah.
you weren't really supposed to get like if you've got like hordes of zombies chasing you, you've kind of failed already.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the final exfil was like this gate thing. You had to like go and like do a puzzle or something, like the power generator. Like, oh, it's coming back to me. Yeah, and you would like throw bottles and bricks to get zombies. But you could like take the exfil together. Yeah, I really liked this game. I played it so much when you could like. I think this game. I
And
mean, this game is
they've been
definitely going to
sitting
be
on
for
it for
me.
ages. It's like 2 years or something since they last
Yeah,
showed anything.
yeah.
So
This
we'll
game
see.
will be pretty fun. We
Could
shall
be
see.
cool.
Um.
Should just whip through
Uh,
the last few things.
yeah. I mean, GPU prices have increased. Basically, the long and short of it is, GDDR6 RAM has become more expensive. It's like harder to fabricate or manufacture, I should say. And yeah, there's issues with that. And so
It's used in
that's,
everything. It's just high like throughput memory in general, right? It's like a huge
yeah.
squeeze because it's used in like the big AI chips as well as in GPUs, sadly.
hmm So, and actually, like the GPU prices are, with very few exceptions, I think they're like on average worse than they were like 8 months ago, from what I saw from Gamers Nexus spreadsheets.
Mm.
So it sucks right now. Sucks a lot. I really hope my graphics card doesn't die because that's gonna suck so much. Um,
Yeah. I wonder how much it costs to buy like my one now. Damn, I think it's like the same as when I bought it,
because
if not slightly more. Wait, are these pre-owned?
I think
Like,
it's,
you probably can't even buy a new one, can you?
I think if I recall, it's mainly the 16 gig modules and up that are the most affected,
Mm.
but I can't remember for certain. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's true. Yeah. But anyways, so that sucks. Um, and eventually it should get better because they're gonna be making. It takes time, but it's just a demand or a supply issue, I guess. The demand is really high right now. The supply is low, so it takes
Yeah.
time for that to build the manufacturing plants and such. But anyways, um, and then CPU or core setters. This is a cool little app I found. You can find on GitHub. CPU core setter. Basically, it allows you to set what cores are used on a per program basis. And this could be
Right.
useful for mainly for gaming, but you could do it for a lot of different tasks. Like one task that I saw demonstrated that I thought was, that's kind of useful. You could do like an encoding because you use some CPU encoding, right? But you don't need to like bog down your entire CPU because a lot of it's being handled by GPU, right? So you could
Mm.
set like, you know, maybe like one of your, I don't know. I mean, I can't remember what he did, for example. I think maybe he just put like his frequency cores, your sort of like, um, and then he took like all of his AMD. My brain is just fried at this point. What is it called? The cores that are on the SMT. No, not SMT. The RAM. The memory. The gamer memory.
Cache?
Yes. Yes.
The L3
Um.
cache or whatever?
Yeah. Basically, he was like showing like, hey, you could play your game and encode, and like your game's actually playable now. Like you lose a little performance on your encoding, but at least you can like, set this up. Normally you couldn't do this. And he was also showing like, um, some games prefer certain setups, and you can essentially like experiment and see like, oh, maybe this game only prefers my, physical cores and not the hyper threads. Maybe this game prefers the hyper threads. Maybe this game prefers we just only want to put it on the cores that are associated on the AMD cache thingy. Um, so I don't know. I thought it was cool. I messed with it a little bit, but I was gonna actually do it for a marathon, but
Mm.
um, I couldn't. I think, yeah, when I was interested in it, it was having that issues with the overlay stuff, so I couldn't actually get any frame stuff to like pull up, and yeah, so it wasn't really cool. But yeah, just a little app that some people might be interested in. Yeah,
As a random tangent, using DLSS quality, I've literally not seen less than 100 FPS in Marathon, which is thumbs up,
yeah, the game does
in
look
my
nice
opinion.
and runs
Runs really well.
fairly well. Yeah.
I just pulled up the GitHub for this thing, and because I was just thinking, like, why is this different to processless suit? Like, what's the difference between those things? Isn't that just what that does? And it says here at the bottom, because I thought they might have something in here, because it's kind of the same app in some ways. CPU sets versus affinity. But what are these CPU sets? Aren't they just affinities? And it says affinity equals a hard lock, which restricts which cores processors can use. Whereas a CPU set is a very strong hint, but may be deviated from when necessary. More stable, works with more games. CPU sets require fewer process privileges to set, allowing them to work in games with anti-cheats too. So he's saying it's more flexible, this thing, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of interesting. I've never seen any benefits on mine, but I think this is because, I mean, he like usual, they say, well, it's on these dual CCD CPUs, like the, the high end ones, like the 9950 or whatever, where they've only got 3D cache on like half of the CPU,
Yeah.
and not the other half. You can,
Yeah.
that's like, because that's usually the benefit of using processless as well. It's like get rid of, only put it on threads that also run on the 3D cache, so that you're not running it on the non 3D cache. But with processors like the 9800 X2D, 7800 X2D, and the 5800 X2D, they've got 3D cache through the whole CPU. So it's like the issue. It's like the issue that they had with those like 9950s is that the clock speeds are higher, but they couldn't get the 3D cache through the whole die. Or it's only on half of it, or whatever, for some technical reason, probably. It's the trade-off that you make for certain like desktoping applications to have a higher clock speed, but you can't have 3D cache across the whole thing. So you have to set the affinity so it does the right thing, so in gaming you get as good a performance as the non-dual CCD equivalent, if that makes any sense. The word salad
a little
of
bit,
AMD,
but yeah,
CPU magic. Yeah, interesting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting stuff. Yeah, well, I guess like we can talk more about it as time goes on. I'm not going to run out of like topics. I'll just finish off, talking about. I don't know how. Like, did we talk about AI stuff? We talked about like the societal impact of AI last time, I think. Did we talk about like any practicalities? Because I'm doing like all sorts of random things, trying to like improve workflows and stuff. And we talked about proxies and like Affinity, like moving from Premiere Pro to Affinity. We talked about that offline, about like video editing and things. And it's actually like amazing how you can just like spin up like little apps for yourself to do things with AI. It's actually surprising how good that stuff is, right? It's like they're really good at code. I mean, I think that's widely known. But for example, did I talk about this last time, or did we just talk about it offline? I can't remember. Where like you basically were saying like, oh, I need to make like proxies for a load of files. So files that are the same video but in lower quality, and you can use apps for that. Handbrake, there's another one, Shutter Encoder, I think, which encodes in like editing friendly formats, but they're either like really big or they take a long time. For some reason, they always seem to take a long time. And yeah, I got it to like spin up a little Python script that pulls FFmpeg and just like directly does what you want, and I can basically make proxies at like 13 times speed. I'm not sure if I talked about this or not. I can't remember if I mentioned this previously, but it's certainly interesting to be able to make these like little local apps. Like, you're not going to put this stuff in production, but just like hacky little apps that you used to think before, like, oh, is there a tool or a utility that does XYZ thing? Often you can now just ask AI and be like, could we build this? And then sometimes the complexity isn't really known by you as like a non-coder, but as long as you like asking the question, at least sometimes it's like, oh, this is really easy because you just do this and that and then pull this thing and then it works. It's like some stuff's very surprising. It's how easy it actually is. And like you have to kind of get out of the old mindset of, oh, this sounds kind of difficult, and or there isn't an app for it, therefore like I can't do it, to just like ask the question. Sometimes it'll literally just spit out a piece of code, you just save it, write it in the command prompt, and then there you go. It just works. It's like, oh, this is like crazy magic. So I don't know. My timeline's full of like coding people going like, I don't really code that much anymore, and or like I'm reviewing code, not really writing it, and who knows, in like 5 years' time, maybe no one's going to be writing code particularly. It's all going to be just like architecture instead. AI's going to be doing like the hard work, because like I'm not a coder, don't know the syntax, no nothing. I don't know. I can't write Python, can't write any of that stuff. And to actually implement any of these things myself, to call FFmpeg, like it would take me I'd have to pull through the documentation, it would probably take me like 3 days to do anything in that. And then when you get stuck, you're like trying to look through Stack Exchange for things that are like, you can't find the right problem, like the right. Whereas with AI, you can be like, oh, I did the code and it didn't work, and this is the error message, and then it goes, oh, and this is the reason. Change this, and now it works again. It's like, my God, it's actually kind of crazy for local app coding. I've done like all sorts of stuff so far. There's like pull in like random models to do like image recognition, to do transcribing, to do. And because we're gamers, we all have like CUDA cores and like AI graphics cards. Like it's all the same architecture. So we can run this stuff. Like you can run, there's some amazing things that are coming out. You can run like 8 billion, 14 billion parameter models on a 4070 Ti Super. You can just have like one of these LLMs running like on your desktop. You could pull the internet out and it's just like, it just runs because it's running on your GPU like directly. Like they're not as powerful as the cloud ones, but like there's all sorts of crazy stuff that you could do now. Actually, the world is opening up to, and I think it's especially for like logical thinkers who aren't necessarily coding people. I think those are the people who benefit the most from this, because it's like you kind of have ideas about stuff that you might want to do. I've seen like loads of things where people are like, thinking about making mods for games, for example, and they'll be like, here's all the files, like, could you make me something that does this? And it's like, oh, do this file, do this, put this there, da da da. And like half the time it just like works, like basic stuff. Obviously, there's nothing like super complex, but like you could just like make a mod in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of mods that will mention like, I use ChatGPT to help me make this mod. Don't know if it works or not, or like use it at your own discretion. If it breaks, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, but it's just like, and yeah, maybe it doesn't work sometimes, but like, in my experience so far, things work at least somewhat. I'm trying to do this one at the moment, which is, like the way that I cut up all of my files, and I'm trying to get a system to automatically rename the raid files without me having to, because at the moment I'm like cutting up all the raids, I go in, I find the end screen, I like take the weapon, I look how many PMC kills there were, whatever, and I'm trying to build this system. It actually works, I would say 50% of the time, and then the other 50% of the time it doesn't work. And it calls like, because after doing this other thing, when I was doing the proxies, I was just like, oh my god, I could just wield FFmpeg like a hammer. Like, this is mental. Like, I've never been able to do this before. It's like, FFmpeg lies behind pretty much all video stuff to one extent or another, but it's all command line. It's like impenetrable if you're not like a techie coding type person or want to spend hours like hobbyist. Like, I don't have time for that stuff. But now, like with AI, you can just like, AI can just write like a simple Python stuff perfectly every time with no issues. Like simple things, it absolutely cracks through like no problem. Like making proxies, it just did that instantly. It's like instant. Like I didn't even really have to tweak it. I was basically, can you reveal some more of the stuff to me so I can change like the file format, whatever, or anything else like that. And it's like, oh yeah, done that. But yeah, so this thing, I'm just like, oh, so you can like load a video file, and again, it's all command line at the moment. But you can like load a video file. You can sample the video at like every 5 seconds. Look at the type of frame. Do like a frame comparison thing. Say, does this look like a menu? Does this look like a raid? Whatever. Then like slowly hone in on the end screen. Then do like an OCR, like character recognition scrape of the end screen. Like pull the number of times that it says USEC or bear. Count that as the number of PMCs. So it sort of stores that as a counter. If it detects the name like of any of the bosses, it'll keep that as well. It'll then draw the map out of the kill count because it says the map in the end screen. And then it'll rename the file. So it'll say customs, this is the gun, number of PMC kills, whether you survived or not, because there's a death screen and a kill screen. One's red, one's green. So in Tarkov, it's very obvious which one's which. And then the name of any of the bosses that were killed in that raid. And like right now, it works. I've probably spent. It was kind of a hobbyist project at the same time, but like it's going to save me some time in the long run. But I've probably spent maybe 5 hours on it or something. Maybe a bit longer, maybe 10 hours so far, just like trying to get it to actually work all the time, not just some of the time. Like the final 10% is the hardest part to make it work, because the OCR doesn't work, all this and the other. But like, yeah, it works 50% of the time already, which is kind of wild. And it's like, oh my god, like I could only have dreamed of doing something like this. Like this would have taken me like 6 months.
Yeah, I mean,
and you could just be like asking it stuff and doing things in the background while you're doing other things.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
it really is mad. Like I can really start to see the magic. Like I was like hacking around with it to begin with, and at one point it was like, yeah, you need to move to like a proper production environment to do what you want to do. And I was like, okay. So I downloaded VS Code, and then I realized, because I do have like one of the I do pay for one of the subscriptions, because I needed it at one point so that I could get like more images out of it, because otherwise you just end up like rate limited all the time. But anyway, in VS Code you can like pull in one of the like AI coding agents from these things inside the window. So you can be like talking to the main one in one place, and then you'll say, can you just give me we're talking about like how to implement this thing. And it's like, rather than like asking, like showing me what to do and like giving me the code and showing me what to change, because I was taking me ages and I was getting stuff wrong and it was a real pain. I'm like, can you just like write a prompt for like the coding agent? And then I just copy the prompt into VS Code and it just does it. I haven't written any code, or it's not even like I was writing any code. I haven't copy pasted any code for like a week now. Like the agent, like the one thing is doing the architecture on the web version, like the generic model, and then the coding agent is implementing it based on the prompt from the generic version. It's wild. It's actually wild. Like you could spin up these crazy things. Like it's really, really crazy. And like I'm probably only scratching the surface too. Like it's bonkers. But whether this stuff is secure or not, I don't know. You see people like opening up vibe coding applications out, being like, we're launching this thing, and then it's just like, oh, we scraped all the emails out of the underlying database because it was exposed to the public, right? It's like the security on this stuff is like zero most of the time, unless you know what you're doing. But if you're just running stuff like yourself, you don't need to worry about any of that stuff. You're not logging people's emails or doing like having login accounts or saving people's information or anything like that. Just like doing random crap for yourself. It's like super powerful. And you can run it all locally too.
Yeah, I haven't really looked at it since that one time. I just, just like once it started scaling up, I was like, okay, I was like basically just having like, oh, can you do this? You can. Well, can you also do this? You can. Okay. Can you do this? All right, you can. I was like, all right. Well, let me just punch it in and see if I. And then it's just like, how do I run Python and what's the syntax to get it to run? It's like,
yeah, but it's like I'm almost like you remember that it's because you almost feel bad in some ways because this thing's like so powerful, and then I'm just like, what command do I need to use to run this? Like I literally just ask it sometimes.
Yeah,
I like
no, I mean,
lose my train of thought because each project is different, and I'm like, what do we need to use to run this again? Like, what are the commands that we've even set up? Like the flags that we need to put in to get it to do X. It's like, oh yes, just run this in like debug mode. I'm just like, mate, like how do you even do that? I can't even remember.
Right,
Can you just write the command for me? It's like I'm so lame, I'm like. It's like Wall-E. Like you talked about Wall-E before. I'm just like, lazy human here. I don't know anything. I don't even know how to run the thing is made. Never mind make it.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much knowledge that you do not have. So yeah, it's like it's just such a knowledge gap. But it's, I mean, yeah, it's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive.
It is, yeah. Yeah. It is. Well, I will report back if I manage to do any more more things. Working on an interesting one at the moment, but for another time.
Cool. That time indeed. All right, then. I guess we'll wrap it up here for this week. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you all next week.
Catch you later.